exercise.
Hey guys, welcome to Control. Hey Papa Whiskey, loves today's installment of Lore. I'm glad you liked it. Welcome everyone. I'm doing my mandatory neurotically checking on the stream to make sure everything's okay. How you guys doing? Hopefully you're having a good Sunday. Yeah, I'm excited for more Control. I'm excited that they were able to make more of it. Everything actually looks pretty good, shockingly. Things didn't randomly break just because they sat there for 10 seconds. Looks good and sounds good. Yeah, I'm upgrading some stuff. I need more headphone to big plug adapters. So right now I'm splitting some audio in some funky ways, but hopefully this leads to a more immediate audio experience. I'm not splitting audio via software anymore. So yeah, we'll see how it shakes out. I'll let Control load in. It's been a minute. Boy, it's been a second since I've played Control. So this might get a little weird, but what is Control? Oh boy, that's a good question. May I ask you something? Of course, Top of the Wild. Doesn't matter if it's off topic. That's what Twitch is for. So, Control. Zachariah, thank you for the reset. How's Adam doing? I don't know. You'd have to ask him. Is RTX enabled? Yes, it is. Maximum RTX. Let me find a window to really drive it home. I mean, the lighting is just still so goddamn incredible in this game. Oh, that's right. You can't. I don't think you can hover here. Also, I might need to rebind my controls to make them more Doom-like because I don't remember what I'm doing. Hey, I am Scrambled Bacon. This room has been a great place to relax, make new friends, and question the limits of lewd interactions. You're describing my heaven, which is why I'm so happy here. Okay, Control. Control is about the Bureau of Control, which is a shadowy government organization that takes place in this building called the Oldest House. The Bureau of Control manages objects of power, because in your world, occasionally an object will be imbued with the ability to change reality. Sometimes it's benign, sometimes it's malignant, but often it just really upsets people's grip on reality to know that reality is much more changeable and mutable than we like to think. So it's about the SCP Foundation, yes, but I'm assuming that somebody who doesn't know about SCP, I'm trying to give a full... Okay, SCP, yeah. So yes, it's basically SCP the video game. The original campaign of Control focused on something called the Hiss, which was a frequency or a resonance that started to invade this reality, and it would sort of reprogram people's minds and even corrupt objects of power to make them more destructive. So, what's SCP? Oh boy, that is hard to really button up. Solo Knight, thank you for the resub. All is well, thank you. Casket Salesman, thank you. New mission. I don't know if this is the DLC. Ask Garish about the jukebox token. I will.
Oh, I can't believe the emergency rations don't include beer.
I found this token.
Casket Salesman,
What it does?
thanks for the resub. And you kicked off a hype train.
Jukebox token.
How exciting.
Little bastards turn up in the weirdest places, like bad pennies.
So it's time for you guys to throw money at me, I guess, if you want middling emotes from Twitch. Oh, Mythic Dragon's already on it. Thank you.
Nope, just the one record. Hey, be careful.
Obi, thank you for the cheer.
When it's playing, you get a free trip to the formation.
The formation? That sounds ominous.
Why does it send you there?
I guess this is the
Like
DLC.
you're wondering that for years. I mean, it's just a pile of rocks built by God knows who, but... Well, researchers have confirmed it's in the same threshold as the quarry. No one's ever been able to map a physical route to the formation for maintenance.
So it's in the quarry. You just don't know where.
Pretty much. We only send in annual expeditions to the formation now. Checkups, Salvador calls them. This year's team went in the day the Hiss arrived. Come to think of it, the song should have brought back hours ago.
I reach looks like an off-brand Mr. Robot. Oh, Andrew, thank you for the cheer, man.
The jukebox is kept...
Thanks for the newsletter that made me question my identity. Ugh, yeah. It's good to question it. I think it's still okay to embrace your identity, even if it maybe did come from...
I'll see you later.
an amalgamation of media and marketing, but that's American culture right now, for better or worse. My best toast, thanks for the resub. Hello, hello. Yeah, Jitka, I have a newsletter. I send it out every Sunday to subs and patrons. So if you're not getting it, you can use the newsletter command to check your Twitch email settings.
Case number 2.
Hello, Redden. Are you going to sleep? All right. Thanks for hanging out. Or thanks for saying hi. I am Scrambled Bacon. Thanks for gifting a sub. Ooh, lore. More lore. Mr. Skyrim Guard, hello. Sorry about that one time I, like, accidentally pulled a sword on you, and then your entire race decided I was the enemy of all mankind. But you do good work, Mr. Skyrim Guard.
Placed in a secure location in the executive sector. It should never have been accessible to low clearance.
Why does that guy have a Lewis gun? Is this game set in the present or some chronologically ambiguous realm? They never really nail it down. It's supposed to be the present, but also, newer technology doesn't work in the oldest house. It just doesn't. For reasons that aren't entirely understood, so they have to use mostly analog technology, which is why they have reel-to-reel recorders, and cell phones don't work. There's lore explaining it, so like they kind of have to operate like a 50s corporation or a 50s business. So they use pneumatic tubes to communicate. They record things on reel-to-reels. They're clean from possible anomalies. Okay. Do you have the gold suit? I don't, but I thought I did the thing to get it. The lucky stuff. I need to go find it. Ooh. I guess more different suits for, Oh, god damn. That's pretty boss. Hold on a second. Holy shit. Whoa. She looks like an X-Man. Sick. I guess DLC suits? Or maybe they just added them and, I haven't touched the game since I beat it, which is not cool. I always wanted to come back to it. I need to find the gold suit, though. Looks pretty Star Wars. Yeah, it does. You're right. Wow. Like 789 Star Wars, too. Like new Star Wars. But not bad. Not trash. X-Woman, thank you very much. Sorry, you're right. You right. Wait, they want me to go to Central Executive? Eh? I thought I was supposed to go to the quarry. Yeah, it says use the token in the jukebox. Alright, never mind. I also need to remember how to get around this place. I do remember one of the interesting hallmarks of this game is they don't tell you explicitly where to go most of the time. They tell you the sector to go to, and then you just kind of have to figure it out from there. Navigating the oldest house is one of the more interesting aspects of the game, because they don't put a big glowing trail for you to go somewhere. Yeah, my best toast, you're right. A lot of the
I'll see you later.
A lot of the circumstantial assets of the new Star Wars movies are actually super on point. The music, the art design, the costuming, storytelling. Oof. Big oof on that one. Asynchronous suit is my favorite. Got that corporate space wizard vibe. Yeah, it really does, doesn't it? Alright. Where's... Maybe I should have been paying a lot more attention. Let's see. Federal Bureau of Control, part of the U.S. government. Yes. But in that, like, creepy way where they're not really acknowledged. So I think to some degree they operate without full knowledge or oversight of the U.S. government, but they are a governmental institution. Oh, the faces remind you of L.A. Noire.
Careful out there, Director.
Was it in this? Say where the jukebox was?
Salvador, head of Bureau Security. I'm making a formal security order due to the incident in April. Case number 21HQ593. Improper use of the jukebox altered item led to 2 fatalities. We believe a pair of agents used the jukebox to travel to the quarry threshold and engage in inappropriate workplace behavior. An expedition team found them decomposing at the formation's base a week later.
Ugh.
At least we found out the jukebox doesn't bring corpses back when the song ends. I'm having the jukebox placed in a secure location in the executive sector.
Got it.
It should never have been accessible to low clearance staff in the first place.
Secure location in the executive sector.
Proximity to a high traffic area will prevent misuse while still allowing for expedition teams to access it when required. See me for any further details.
Oh, okay. I don't remember where Salvador is. But here's some stuff. Yeah, this game is so good, Rick. We don't deserve control. Salvador. Where is Salvador? Oh, pff. It's right fucking there. How long was the campaign? It actually depends on how well you play, to be honest, because it's a difficult game. I'm gonna say by my recollections, like 15 to 18 hours. There's a lot of side stuff you can do too. We go into the Jazz Age. Oh, I gotta switch some stuff around. Shift is not dash, and that's gonna drive me insane. Jump, levitate, sprint. Oh, thank you guys for the sub hype. I appreciate that. Melee. I'm gonna have to rebind all of this shit. Evade. Aha! That's why. For some reason, sprint and shift have to be different buttons, which sucks. I don't like that at all. Let's see here. That'd be control. Hopefully I can remember that. Use C, switch weapon is F, shield is Q, launch is E, crouch and ground slam C. Okay. That's weird. Like, you only sprint when you're on the ground. You only jump when you're in the air, or you only dash when you're in the air. No, I guess you can dodge on the ground too. That's true. That's true. This may not even actually be the DLC. I didn't really read much about the DLC and what it is or how to start it. I just kind of like bought it and figured I would figure it out. It's 5 p.m. I feel like the day just started. I hate this quarantine shit. Yeah, I know that feeling. Days are starting to bleed together. Kind of a problem for me too, because I'll be like negotiating like contracts and stuff, and then the days will go by, and then I'll be like, oh shit, I needed to do that thing. Which, speaking of, Bless Unleashed stream after after Control today. Sweet, sweet Bless Unleashed. I guess they got more budget, so it's a free add-on arena update. Fun, but also super hard. The DLC? Okay. Jukebox is free expansion, not the new DLC. Oh, okay. So where do you go to get the arena stuff? Also, Bargain Bin Mescaline, I'm glad you're here. Also, you got a great name. Through the entire Mandeville questline in 14, not knowing it wasn't Heaven's Word? Yeah. You did the whole thing? Because they added Mandeville stuff in every expansion. So the mission is titled The Foundation. Okay. You're in the arena now. Oh, okay. I thought it was called The Foundation. So that's melee. Shield. Grab and yank. Okay. Yeah, life is my arena. So you just gotta hit and hold it. That's how. Oh, Yale, you haven't played this yet? Oh my gosh, Control's so good. Jesus Christ, it's so pretty. Yeah, Remedy has long used, like, tech and math
Stars.
to make games really fun.
That certainly looks like the same sky as the quarry.
I feel like Control is the ultimate example of that.
Squad Captain Lopez, reporting on Expedition 17B. At the formation now.
Yeah, this isn't the DLC.
No.
Yeah, whoops. Well, I might as well do this, right?
Detectors are still
And then move on to the DLC, because I haven't done this yet.
flashing. So we're gonna give the area once over. Then we'll head back.
The DLC is in this area, though, right?
Detectors.
Or did I misunderstand? Yeah. Remedy is an absolute gift to mankind. Also, just this game, that this game was made at the fidelity it was, is
Must
amazing.
have gone that way.
Ooh. I don't think it is, but I could be wrong. Oh, okay. Well, we'll figure it out together. It is kind of rare to, like... I think the Foundation is the lowest level in the house you can go. Oh, they got Epic Games money? Hell yeah. Apparently Remedy got an agreement with Epic for PC publishing of the next 2 unannounced games. Fuck yes! Fuck yes. I feel like it's unlikely, without Epic money, that they would be able to lock down that production. So, God bless, man. If this is what Epic money is, people can get mad about installing a new store all they want. I don't care. It puts more games into the world, and that's the whole point. I just... Man. It's hard for me to not get a little upset at people who were so mad they just couldn't see in front of their own nose.
Please kill them all. They're
Oh, they'll be multi-platform? Great. What's up, Baz? What is this game all about?
Yes.
That's kind of hard to bottom line, if I'm being honest. I don't remember guns. What do I hit? Where's my gun? Shit, hold on. I don't remember how to pull out a weapon. Cause yeah, you have the different forms of what's it called? The fucking super sick gun. Damn, I don't remember. The Negotiator? It's got a name. Shaft of Justice, thanks for gifting a sub. Controls only 32 Canadian on PSN right now. It's a little rough on console. That's my understanding. If you have a PS4 Pro, you might be okay, but yeah, Shy Guy, B-Mania was really fun. I'm glad people are enjoying that. Shoot. Aim, melee. Okay. Switch weapon. Do I not have a gun? Called the service weapon. Yes, thank you. Why? I did not expect to be this out of touch. Coming back to control. Need to equip it in the inventory. Thank you. Yes, you're right. Oh, it wiped everything. Okay, I was like, what is going on? Alright. Let's see if I can remember how to play this damn game. And remember the shit that I had. Oh boy, I guess I had a lot of junk that I haven't dusted. Might as well do that now, I guess. Oh, they made that way faster. Good. The gear meta system in this game is interesting. It provides a little bit of extended play, but it's not like the most in-depth thing in the world. But it's good enough. Oh yeah, C speed. C's is fun. I think the big one I used was just one that made throw or launch. Yeah, launch do more damage because boy, launch is such a useful ass skill. Okay, there we go. Now I got a gun. What? We got some wackiness happening? Why did it just go right to a load? This game anything like Twin Peaks or Silent Hill? Huh?
Guess the song ended.
Oh.
Timing.
Alright. It's timed. Interesting. Launch is so good. Yeah, launch kind of breaks the game, but it's good. Bad Wolf it does have vibes of like Twin Peaks or Silent Hill, namely in that like the whole concept that the world you know or the rules you're familiar with are not necessarily what guide the narrative or the story. You can seize those heal orbs. Ooh, I did not know that. No song ends, it pulls you back. Gotcha. I just wasn't fast enough.
Find those rangers? The formation?
I found them. But it's not good news. The history.
Dream logic. That's a perfect way to summarize it. Thank you, Casket.
Another dead team. Jesus. You know, I should have.
Oh, Chief, thanks for the resub. How goes the stream? Oh, it just started, but
pull to it.
Boy, do I like Control.
And up there. I'm sure you saw all the junk lying around.
Launch doesn't break the game, it is the game? Yeah, pretty much. I don't know why this went over my radar. I've heard about it, but not seen it. That's kind of the case with a lot of people. It just didn't make a hit. I think it's partially because 505 either didn't know how or didn't have the budget to do a more traditional and more spendy PR campaign.
A simple one.
It is.
We need to find more tokens and get the fuck out of the formation.
It is a little uncomfortable to me how much
while you were gone. You take a look.
Those that consider themselves truly in the know about gaming actually just rely on PR cycles to tell them what's important.
Fucking shoot something, right?
when Control came out, I did see a lot of people saying, like, I haven't heard of this, with the implication being it must not be a good game. Because if it were a good game, I would have heard about it. When truly, man, it is really just a lot of marketing budgets that put things in front of people's eyeballs. Oh, okay. That's a cool subsystem. Okay, well now I understand the free update. I don't know where to go to... oh, it's... Okay, it's just source. Finally there's something to dump source into. That's smart. I passed over it because it seemed like after all the spectacle and stuff, it was just a third-person shooter, but it's good. It's good, it's that good. It really is, yeah. I guess I can see how it, yeah, might feel like it's, that maybe all the people yelling about it are just hyperbole. I could see that. Actually, I'm gonna change you to grip. Good old grip. How do I, is there a way to, like, de-equip? Oh, enter. Oh, here we go. Talk to the board. Also, lots of lore in this game, as you can see. And it's actually really well tied together. It's also got a really goofy sensibility about it, as much as this game is about, like, creepy otherworldly stuff. It's also very human and quirky. There's a lot of, like, what is it, boring dystopia kind of stuff mixed in. Juxtaposing, like, boring and banal office work with coffee makers that can teleport you across the world. Kind of neat stuff. I think this is better than Death Stranding that was hyped to the stratosphere. I think for a lot of people it's probably better than Death Stranding. I think comparing the two is going to be a challenge, but you could probably do it. Why didn't we go up, I think? Yeah, the architecture is an entire character unto itself in this game. There's a fantastic video Connor did about brutalist architecture and what it means to control in Inside Gaming. I recommend you go watch that, because I thought it was extremely educational, and certainly anything that celebrates control is something that I care about. So, yeah, Control's lore is really A+. There's a lot of... It's not all just, like, dry text logs, either. That's how a lot of it is delivered, but it's not necessarily all that. Yeah, Jidka, I'm glad you liked it. I try to plug it every chance I get about this game. There's a lot to appreciate in there. Okay. I'm coming! I get to go talk to Max Payne. We're doing a lore stream like with Doom. Kind of already did that when I played the game the first time. Definitely read through and appreciated all the lore. I typically do that with a lot of games that I like. And boy do I like Control. I forgot, talking to the board. Well, I thought Trench was on the board now, but... I don't know, man.
Foundation.
That whole interaction is funky.
That was Auti's vacation spot.
Auti!
Check this out.
Oh boy, I hope we get more Auti. Giant Bomb loved this game and pretty much universally hated Death Stranding. For anyone that wants to go down the comparison rabbit hole, yeah, Giant Bomb seems like the types that would hate Death Stranding. Let me put it this way, Giant Bomb doesn't seem to enjoy any kind of new ideas. They like pro wrestling and they like shooting things. I don't know, maybe it's changed, but I got a little burnt out on Giant Bomb's complete lack of willingness to try and appreciate or enjoy new things. I thought Trench's spirit just persisted, not that he was on the board. That could be. Yeah. I think, yeah, that feels like a more accurate interpretation. Although, like, I guess astral projection is a thing in this game, because Jesse's brother does it too. Hey, value fries. Oh man, you just made me hungry. Vinny liked Death Stranding though? Okay. Yeah, no, it's tough to talk about a group of people and an entire outlet as one thing, so I hopefully I wasn't wasn't too overtly negative or stereotypical when saying that. I don't know. It's not a bad thing either. You know, I guess I'm backtracking to a big way now. I didn't want to sound like I was bagging too hard, but just for me, that was sort of the thing that made me a little just be like, okay, I think I'm done here. Maintenance restricted area. Where is the restricted area? I guess it might be this? Question marks? Because I don't see... It would be kind of weird if the restricted area were marked as such, I guess. Let's see. Can't click on that? Okay, I'll just scroll through until it highlights. There we go. Top left? Eh? Oh. Sorry. I'll go there now. Wait, Black Rock. Oh, you're right. There it is. There's a big diamond on it and everything. My stupid eyeballs didn't see it. There's a fast travel point there, but I don't... Oh. It was that simple. Thank you, guys. I would have run around aimlessly for a long time. Ooh. What keyboard do you have?
This place really suits Ahti.
This is the original run of... Holy shit.
Is the door.
Oh, fuck me. This place looks creepy.
Let's try opening it.
This is the original run of the Razer Black Widow, which was one of the, like, I think like in 2010, was one of the first mechanical keyboards that sort of brought about the mechanical keyboard renaissance, so edibles kicked in. Yeah, it seems like it, right? Like, oh shit. This is more hallucinogens. Oh boy, what's gonna happen? I'm excited.
No time for sightseeing. The board said this was an emergency.
But also sightseeing. I do enjoy sightseeing. I could just do that. Gotta remind me of this particular puzzle mechanic real quick. Is Ahti actually human? He seemed a bit off.
Here in a while.
I mean, it's the whole thing about controls. You can never really say anything with finality. I kind of think of it as more that, like, some people, and I think David Lynch movies kind of lean into this notion, some people are more willing to embrace dream logic, like was said in chat. Yeah, I think they're blue switches, 20th Hydra. Some people just seem more willing to roll with stuff and have the mind that can just sort of wrap around realities that behave by different rules. My interpretation is that Ahti just circumstantially gets the nature of the world of control a lot more than a lot of other people. So he's kind of... Oh, shit.
Having a field day down here.
So he's able to sort of just understand and roll with that reality, which also makes him a little weird to talk to, because he sees things in a different way and his brain processes differently. Ahti appears to be given will of the oldest house in 3D space. Yeah, he either can interface with it, presuming that it even has, like, volition and intent, or he just understands it so well that he can act with it directly.
Stranger than I like it. But this place, it's something else.
He's pretty damn Finnish, yeah.
Walls slither. It's a
I feel like he's also just sort of the Finland pride of Remedy, represented in one character.
Anyone to see, but no one does. How do we miss it? Northmore.
So why isn't he the director?
The director in Northmore now is on a train from
I mean, who knows?
answers, which is why I'm making these tapes.
There doesn't seem to... I don't know that the logic by which the directors are chosen was necessarily spelled out. I know that it's like whoever can hold and wield the service weapon is the director. And that, as I recall, it was...
Father,
that's chosen by the oldest house?
would have been the first man in.
They're equal parts of the machine, director and janitor? Yeah.
His bookworm son.
Oh.
Research, you can't stop his
I guess Northmore was before Trench? I'm trying to remember the legacy. I do appreciate, too, that, like, Control also seems to embrace that, like, custodial services are as important as executive. And I think to some degree there's a lot of, like, latent commentary on... Oh my gosh, you can see the prismatic aspect of the light. It's like... That's really cool. There's a lot of commentary on corporate culture and Control as well, and I do enjoy reading into the commentary it has about human organizations and human work structures, in addition to the more fantastic elements. So many rays. Oh, yeah, John Lennon. No, don't worry, man. If you have no idea what's going on, that's okay. That's part of the experience of Control, is you just kind of don't know what's happening most of the time. And you gotta just let that go. Hey! Aw, my treasure. My sweet treasure. How dare you? How dare you, special rock? Do I go into the... Yeah? No? We do not go into the light vagina? Okay. God, those rays, though. Super sick. Ugh. This game's just so fun to be in, you know, and just move around in. How much side questing have you been doing? Not much. Not much at all, which is kind of why I was looking forward to... I always told myself I'd come back to the game, like I do with every game that I play and love, and then end up not doing it. Oh.
Stop the hiss. Marshall? How was she on the hotline?
Uh-oh.
Unless she's dead. Jesus. She seemed like the kind of woman who could survive anything.
Light vaginas exit only. Man, ain't that the way. Am I right, brother? Nobody let me in. Just the campaign so far. Is the hotline a bad thing? No. The hotline is how the current director talks to the board, who is a extra-dimensional entity.
So the kids found their way down here too, huh?
With possibly questionable motives. Kind of hard to say. They seem to be against the hiss, which is useful. That's not change. What? That's not. Oh boy. The board is just kind of outside reality. Yeah, or they're on another plane of existence. They seem to be protecting humanity, or at least on the side of humanity, generally. But they clearly don't quite communicate in ways that mean that they're really rooted in our reality. Shit. Plans to play the Borderlands 3 DLC with Jacob and Bruce. I didn't really like Borderlands 3. I kind of actually actively didn't like it, so... Maybe. But it's like Tiny Tina and Gage and like characters I just didn't like as well. I don't know. Borderlands gets really tiring after a while, and I feel like when 3 came out, it had been just long enough for me to play Borderlands again, and it hasn't been nearly long enough for me to play Borderlands again now. The board or the makers, humanity, or the sentinels and the hiss are hell. Perfect. You've put it in terms that I can understand. They also drove the last director mad. The hiss did. At least that's I'm pretty sure that's the implication. Tab has not changed weapon. That's gonna take a little getting used to. So like, why even use guns? It's because they're fun. Who doesn't like shooting things? MJ Jordan. Thanks for the Prime sub, man. Handsome Jack is back, and the new one is Hammerlock and Braithwaite getting married. Man, I don't care. I don't care about any of that. It's always a fun time to play, especially with other people. Does it take place in the weed dimension? Pretty much, yeah. It may as well. It takes place in the vape dimension. Aw, don't murmur at me. Borderlands 3 is a weird game. Like, the gunplay is super good, best of the series. The story's pretty meh. Like, probably the worst out of the 4, and the player classes are really hit and miss. Yeah, I agree with that. That seems valid to me. I had fun with it, but for me, it's like the gameplay itself was just not interesting. It wasn't challenging. It's just like same old looter shooter thing of shoot thing until you get a gun with a bigger number on it, put that gun on, keep shooting thing. I didn't see a whole lot of like gameplay complexity, which is what I enjoy. I saw some attempts at it, but in practice, it didn't seem like the game's mechanics were really tuned to make it matter. That said, I didn't also put a whole lot of effort into like endgame, so maybe the stats and shit do matter at a certain point, but it's a game with a Rick and Morty gun in it. Yeah. Borderlands, where everyone's screaming all the time, and that's comedy, baby. What if we had a voice lag where someone was like blah 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 blah. Hey, Una. Welcome. I apologize. It's another Bless Unleashed day, and I still have your story, but I haven't read it all. I will though, because I'm really excited to hear this tale. He's a pickle. I mean, I thought that was a good episode. Maybe not worth starting a religion over, but... And there are times where I will still laugh at Borderlands. It's not like I hate the thing.
Guess we're using pickaxes now.
Hiss sharpened. What's this? Hiss sharpened agents display the para-utilitarian ability to rapidly move short distances. This ability is unique in the fact that it's not associated with any known object of power. However, we should not discount the possibility that this ability is an object variation. For example, abrupt physical relocation, or APR, could potentially be a variant of the jukebox's effect. Other explanations of the Hiss Sharpen's ability currently include momentary time manipulation, brief increase in physical speed, and inhibiting the witness's sense of sight. Ah, so they can go... they can go invisible? Miss a good RTS? Yeah, it's been a minute. The CNC remake will be fun. I can't wait to play through that again. Yeah, Near Replicant. What? Are there any Near historians in chat that know the actual differences between Replicant and Gestalt? Because Gestalt is the only one that I played. Replicant was the PS3 one, right? Oh, that reminds me, speaking of PS3. It happened, you guys. I am now the proud owner in the goddamn shrink wrap of Sonic the Hedgehog on PlayStation 3. I also bought it on Xbox 360 and I forgot about it because I wanted to get achievements. But then I also packed up my 360 because my workspace was getting way too cluttered. So my PS3 is still out, so I think I'll be playing it on PS3. Which version is worse? Because I'll probably play that one. I don't know. I would assume the PS3 version. That seemed to be the thing back then. It kind of ran a little shittier. One of the two versions of Nier has a Bishonen protagonist, the other has a huge hulking man protagonist. Oh, really? Oh, okay. I played the hulking man one. I didn't know the protagonist was different. You play the brother of Yona in Replicant, whereas in Gestalt you play his father. I personally think the story hits harder when it's a father protecting his daughter. Gotcha. Okay. Who did you dig out that copy from? The desert hole they were buried in? 360 is worse? Ooh. Okay, then maybe I'll have to pull out my 360 again. Yeah, Solo Samurai, please share all photos from Control you like. That's the whole idea. We are celebrating Control here. If we do accept that the Hiss Sharpen's ability is not connected to a known object of power, then the Hiss are either manifesting unique paranatural abilities or there are objects in the house that we aren't aware of. Either way, the Hiss are continuing to develop new strains of corruption, and that is cause for concern. Absolutely it is. Anyone just lose their save in a game and cry about it in a dream? I don't know that I've ever had that experience in a dream. I've had experiences where I'm stuck doing a really stressful part in a game, like almost fever dream style. I remember when I was a kid trying to do the space jump in Super Metroid, and getting really stressed out about it because it was like over lava, and every time I would mess up the jump I would fall into the lava, and it was really like freaking me out. And then I remember explicitly this fever dream of continually trying to like jump over lava and failing in Super Metroid. So, it gets in you. Hell yeah, collectibles. Hell yeah, lore. Tom, you missed the good news. I'm sure the official memo will go out soon, but Northmore called in all hands at the crossroads to announce we're finally moving out of this hellhole and up into the house proper. Bureau Brass apparently solved the moving walls problem, or at least figured out a way to pinpoint where and when they will happen. All I know is that I'm going up. All I know is going up means goodbye darkness, goodbye weird lunches with that ex-Nazi scientist, and goodbye pissing into the pit. I know that was you, Barry. Northmore's ordering the Foundation sealed as soon as we can haul our stuff out and somehow convince Ash to come with us. He's the only one kicking up a fuss. This is long overdue. We've lost 11 men and damn near $10,000 in supplies moving between the entrance and the Foundation. And for what? Research? Ash is batty if he thinks we want to just stay here and sift through more sand for him. Just rusted iron flakes anyway. Did you know that? We're breathing that shit in. God damn it, Barry. Stop pissing in the hole, Barry. Who knows what dimension that's going to. So that's kind of the thing of, like, as much as this game... ooh. Launch ammo refund. What is that? As much as this game can be about... recovery on launch hits. Holy shit. Can be about... Where was I going with that? The supernatural. It's also just about people being catty and weird. And the intersection of the two of, like, hey, we can finally move out a trans-dimensional basement of iron sand. But also bitching about Barry pissing into a trans-dimensional hole. Oh. Thanks for letting me know. Because I would assume that that's something I was supposed to, like, ride. If the game didn't say, don't stand in that, so... Yeah, right. We all knew a Barry. Is this where I came from? I don't think so. The office with esoteric occultism. Bargain bin mescaline. Very well said, man. You guys are really on it today. Oh, this place again? Yeah, I can't get over there yet. Love how there's the dangerous supernatural stuff, and then two interns banged behind the jukebox and died. Or rather, they used the jukebox to go to a place where they could bang, and then died. The banality of dealing with the supernatural on a daily basis. Yeah, I think on another aspect that I think about a lot is the ability of people to adapt to their surroundings, for things to become the new normal very quickly, no matter how abnormal they might be. Mr. Wilder, I have some bad news. You remember that Robert Ricardo fellow we brought in as a special consultant to map the lower caves? Well, today he found a chamber with weird eyes covering every inch of the walls and a strange black pillar in the center. Kinda looks like the one at the crossroads, but smaller. We had a bureau member shadowing him, but whatever happened in there did a number on our guest. The docs are taking a look, but it's pretty clear Mr. Adventure's exploring days are over. I know we were careful to limit this guy's exposure to the non-ordinary. Drugging him and carrying him through the upper floor was a real hoot, by the way. But we really need to reevaluate our policies on external contractors. Honestly, we'd be better off forming a special division trained in repelling and orienteering than subjecting more outsiders to the shit we deal with. They almost always end up dead or loony. Yeah. Do you feel any better about the Half-Life lore now that the ending of Alex set in, or do you hate it more? That's a great question. I've been thinking about that. I did appreciate that the lore was at least consistent in using Vortigaunt energy to block the G-Man, right? So it's actually kind of a neat idea that the Combine had the G-Man isolated. They actually captured him. And where I thought it was going is that the reason...
The astral plane is cutting into our dimension.
Cool.
What if this happens in the upper floors?
It'll
destroy the bureau.
Where I thought they were going is that the reason G-Man could let Gordon out of stasis, transdimensional stasis or whatever, into Half-Life 2 was that Alex accidentally let him free. Which is a really cool idea. They are at least also consistent with the G-Man working for his employers and, like, scouting people who are good at fucking shit up or changing the course of reality, which also is consistent. What truly isn't consistent is the chronology of events, and there's really no way to make it consistent unless you, you either presume that there is one timeline and that G-Man blocked Alex's memories, so she just wouldn't talk about it, until he plucks her away at episode 2, which presumably then he restores her memory, so she knows what's going on then, and is not totally confused. Why didn't he do that to anyone else? Or maybe he did, and... I don't know. I'm okay with G-Man having, like, parallelism and multiple timelines and all that stuff, but if that's the case, then it's really hard to explain why... I mean, his motivations have always kind of been above thorough explanation, can't. I'm not supposed to use this gun as a sniper, I don't think. Oh, right. Nope, that's not change gun. Fuck. Just have to wait to see what happens in the next game. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I don't necessarily need it to all add up. To some degree. It is also kind of a bummer that they like, I feel like they kind of went out of their way to make sure Eli didn't have plot armor, and they're like, oh no, wait, he does. Also, when you do that, now you've taken away the drama of anyone dying ever. When you undo a canon death, there's no reason to care. When you have multiple timelines, nothing matters. Like, the finality or the seriousness of any event is unquestioned. Like, why can't the G-Man just go back and change it? Granted, I know that it may not be in his particular, like, may not be his motivation, but it just makes it so fuzzy and loose. I'm not a fan. Just in terms of, like, I'll have 4 hours of save data. Oh, for Alex? Oof. The point of the G-Man is to be vague, unknown entity, so it fits. It fits in the sense that, yes, he was always a wild card, but using a wild card like that turning a wild card into infinite wild cards, which is what they did, is cowardly. I feel like it's the way that you make sure you have no accountability for any of the writing you ever do. They could always kill Eli in the first 10 minutes of Half-Life 3 and just be like, she brought time but not permanently, fate is fate, lol. Sure they could. But then it's inconsistent. Wild cards should get protagonists into trouble, it should never get them out of trouble. That's a really good way of saying it, Cranburglar, and that's always how it was. G-Man put Gordon into trouble to prove what he could do. And that was consistent. And he never struck a deal with Gordon. So why did he have to do it with Alex? Gordon never had a choice, and I liked that. I liked the idea that G-Man was so good at manipulating events that he could compel people into doing what he wanted. So why did he have to bargain with Alex? The answer is because they needed some kind of, like, they just had shit on a whiteboard and had to draw arrows between it. That to me is inconsistent. I get why they did it. Yeah, it is a new team kind of taking the reins of the narrative. I get that, and I'm okay with it, especially if it means there's going to be more Half-Life. But I do think that it is not necessarily great writing. I took it more as a reward for freeing him. That's an interpretation, I guess. Yeah. I guess. Yeah, the original story of Half-Life 3 was leaked, or you mean Episode 3? Yeah. I actually liked that. I thought the Episode 3 synopsis was pretty good. Epistle 3, yeah. I read it and I was like, that feels like a Half-Life game. That feels like what would have been next. Alex does not. Alex feels like a swerve, where they have to like make it is a different team and a different tone. So, whatever. Again, if they keep making Half-Life games, I'll roll with it. But that's not the version of Half-Life I thought I was buying into. It doesn't upset me. It doesn't make me mad, because it's just a game. And so much of Half-Life is not really in the narrative. But man, starting with Half-Life 2, they had such a good world building thing going. And Alex kind of, I think, sidetracked the tone of it quite a bit. Yeah. Half-Life game had to have G-Man for it to be a Half-Life game. He's an icon, and a lack of him would probably piss some people off. I guess. I was kind of looking forward to Alex not touching the spectral aspects of Half-Life. I thought it was just going to be Alex in City 17 being Alex. Like, you get to see what led to her becoming who she is. But you don't really get any of those beats. Like, you don't get her interacting with Mossman, even though I think that was the silhouette lady. I'm pretty sure it was. Because she was a double agent in the episodes, so it makes sense she'd be working with a Combine then. And maybe that's the first time Alex sees Mossman and learns to dislike her. But if she knew she was a double agent, then she would have ratted her out later instead of it being a surprise, so... Nah. Hi, I'm Mecca. Thanks for the Prime sub. And sorry for the big derail there, but, you know, Half-Life means a lot to me. It's just to get an out. Kinda. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. They did show G-Man on the trailer. Half-Life is known for having fantastical story beats. If it was just about Alex and what she did before Gordon came back, what would be a big story beat that was never mentioned in Half-Life 2? I don't know that it needed a big story beat. They put one in, and I didn't like it. But, you know, I'm not the end-all be-all. I'm sure other people are okay with it. That's fine. I don't know that it needed a big story beat. It's not called Half-Life 3. I thought they subtitled it to manage expectations. And for me, part of that meant you're not going to get a major twist on the big timelines. This is a VR experience to bring Half-Life into VR. And as such, we're going to tell a more contained story, which it mostly was. Until like the last 15 minutes. Also, what I've been thinking a lot about is the sequence where you are seeing the ghost of someone. To me, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to put this on record now. You guys write this down. So if I'm right, I get the credit. I think you might be seeing this doesn't quite make sense. Never mind. So I was like, are you seeing like visions of G-Man before he turned into the G-Man? Of him living his life in City 17? Because if he's being contained with like Vortigaunt energy, it kind of makes sense then that reality is kind of warping and you're seeing like snapshots in time from the person being contained. The ghosty guy you see kind of checking his mail in City 17 or just hanging out in the bathroom doesn't necessarily look like G-Man, but doesn't not look like him either. So what's the connection there? What was that all about? Unless it was just like, was it just spectral stuff for spectral's sake? I think ghosty guy was just someone in the building. What building? You weren't in a building. You were inside a Combine superstructure, approaching a... when the Combine came and captured him? Well, why would he be there? Unless they just wanted a crazy, trippy sequence at the end, which they got. They showed Gordon as the ethereal figure at one point. Really? Huh. So maybe it's just the Vortigaunts, the captured Vortigants, like, projecting a bunch of astral shit. I don't know. I've been thinking about that a little bit. Like, what's the significance of that? And I can't come up with a whole lot of valid theories, apart from it being aspects of G-Man kind of projected out, because he's the one they're trying to contain. Yeah, bit of plot holes, but 5 out of 5. Yeah, Houdin Assassin, I really liked the game. It felt like a proper Half-Life, which is kind of how I felt after Half-Life 2. I'm like, I don't know how they did it. They made another Half-Life. The Combine straight up grabbed an entire block to get G-Man. Oh. Okay, G-Man was watching out the window. Combine spied him and trapped him somehow. Astral stuff was G-Man trying to escape. Okay. Trey, I like that idea, though, that they kind of narrowed down where G-Man was and then dropped an entire prison on top of him and then snapped up a bunch of innocents in the process, and those are the people you see. They got, like, fucking ghosted because Vortigaunt energy pushed them into some weird half-reality. I've not played Black Mesa yet, Casket. I'm probably going to pick that up pretty soon, just to play back through. Yeah, safer to get the entire area. You can't just run up and grab them. I do like the idea of throwing down a massive, like, alien energy cage on top of a city block, just to make sure you lock down the one guy. I also like... To me, that implies a lot more that the Combine are aware of the G-Man, which means they're probably also aware of the G-Man's employers, which means there are two contradicting galactic-level forces in the world of Half-Life. There's the Combine and whoever the fuck the G-Man works for, which is not the Combine. When are you going to play Sonic 06? I think when I get to 100,000 followers, which I'm only 4,000 away right now, so in the next couple of weeks. Sorry, I've been looking at this page for a very long time, but it's fun to think about. What I want to do is find an avenue that makes sense so that I can be like, yes, I want to find that pathway where I can be really amped about Half-Life lore and the story and where it's going. It's difficult, though, now that they've basically laid the groundwork to make none of it be consistent. That's kind of the thing that irks me, is when writers give themselves a parachute to avoid any consistency problems. Okay, let's read some lore. Field research on astral entity, astral copy. With the astral plane now physically accessible, a torrent of new information has been collected on the entities known as astral copies. At least we cleared the astral ghosts for you. Yeah? No, Obi, don't worry about it, man. That's what the stream's all about. It's just rambling endlessly about video games. The copies' bodies are composed of a dense stone-like material that is both resilient under controlled circumstances and brittle when struck with significant force. Whether the astral copies possess individual consciousness or are directed by higher intelligence, such as the board, remains unknown. However, their shared aggression seems to indicate a unified goal. Director Faden's encounters with these entities when binding objects of power in the astral plane indicate they serve as live targets for potential para-utilitarians to practice on. Some have been equipped with Bureau weaponry, though it seems unlikely they were armed by our personnel. It's important to note they appear immune to his corruption. Neat. G-Man works for the Divide, but it's pronounced Div-eyed. What? Where does that come from? Largest cheetah. Thanks for the resub. I'm glad we got the largest cheetah in chat. I wouldn't want no middling cheetah. We don't do that here. Wouldn't surprise me if G-Man got caught on purpose for some grand scheme. I know. Yeah, right? Yes. Like, when you have a character like that, it gives you endless twists. Endless twists. None of which are meaningful. Because they can just get undone the next time.
I brought Emily with me.
Like, to me,
Really
Alex is...
research right about now.
It's not even a retcon. It's tossing out all the rules. I wonder if they ever will go back to reference Zen, considering they were also invaded by the Combine. That'd be cool.
Marshall?
My understanding is that Zen
You're alive.
was not all that consequential in the long run. That's the homeworld of the Vortigaunts, right? Or were they put there?
Wait! It's Jesse! The director!
Combine is pronounced combine. Oh, are you guys riffing on meaningless lore? Yeah, I don't know. G-Man doesn't appear human.
This place is huge.
Marshall?
I'm gonna guess that's the form he takes to seem more familial to human people.
That person could
Adopted homeworld of the Vortigaunts.
One problem at a time. Let's see what's going on with that pillar first.
It's combine. Ooh, little accent on the E. How metropolitan. Excuse me, it's combine. Combine. Reminds me of Q. Yes, it does. And I've seen that referenced before. The problem is Q, while being a space joker, still had an agenda that was consistent, and still had like, he was kind of the wild card, yes, but the wild card. Let me think. The only timeline rewrite I can think of with Q was the episode where Picard had like the heart, and he was given the chance to go back and redo things. But by the end of the episode, it was like pulled back into that timeline, and that was all done with his grand purpose, which was grooming humanity to fight the Borg, or basically grooming Picard, grooming the Enterprise, trying to find a path through the timelines in which the Borg did not conquer the galaxy. So teaching Picard that lesson then was important because it served his greater goal. And that was very apparent by the end of the season, or the end of the series even. I think it's possible that all those things will pay off, but the difference is they didn't rewrite the linear story. They just had a swerve that then course corrected. Whereas Alex is a swerve off. Like, now it's divergent. Which, once you have like multiple divergences, you can do whatever you want. And they did it in Endgame too, with the caveat that like this is the one time we get to do this. And so they like wrapped it all up, but I guess even with Marvel logic, like they could just do it again. So Alex is a different timeline. It feels like it, yeah. I feel like they definitely retconned Q later on. At first he was just a 5D being that was trolling Picard because humanity sucks. No, that's not true. In season 1, Q he sends the Enterprise off where they encounter the Borg to basically scare the shit out of them and basically humble them into getting ready. Also, I guess that was what cued the Borg into the humanity being there. So he did kind of incite that conflict too. Yeah, maybe that was a bit of a retcon. I never watched Star Trek, but love Discovery. I get bashed for liking it. Is it that bad? I haven't watched Discovery, so I couldn't say. I don't know, man. People have very rigid views about Star Trek and what it ought to be and what is and isn't allowed. On ley lines and their energies. Ooh. For all my research into the oldest house's ley lines, I still don't understand why they converge here at the base of this pillar. I suppose the simplest reason is that they have to converge somewhere. Occam's razor and all that. But that seems wrong. The esoteric world abhors coincidence. So what is the true relationship between this pillar and the ley lines? Does it act as a magnet, attracting them, polar north? Or is the pillar a product of their focused energies, a sprout nourished by the constant flow of the oldest house's power? Perhaps classifying that power would provide some insight. However, we currently have no means of measuring or even quantifying it. Given time, it may become possible to collect and even harness this energy. On that note, Northmore is bringing in the much-lauded Dr. Gustav Wagner from headquarters in DC to aid my research. I suppose this is his way of saying he doesn't trust me to work unsupervised. Let's just hope Dr. Wagner is as smart as his dearly departed Fuhrer once believed him to be. Nice. So that's the ex-Nazi scientist? And I guess that means this all probably happened in like the 70s? Maybe the 80s? Maybe the 60s? There's a cave painting? That's weird. Best Trek is DS9 and the Q episode with that and Sisko's response. I have not seen Deep Space Nine. I used to consider myself a Trek fan, mostly because I grew up with Next Generation and loved it, and still consider it one of the more formative pieces of media I saw as a kid. But yeah, I've since come to understand that having not seen all of everything, I can't really count myself in that crew. I intend to, though. Luckily, it's all pretty watchable on digital streaming services. So once I wrap up some other shows, I'm very slowly tiptoeing through. I intend to watch all of Star Trek. I started it a while ago. I started watching the original series, which, like all of Star Trek, real hit and miss. I probably would really like it. Everything everyone said about it indicated to me it's a show that I would love. CBS All Access TM. I mean, it's also on Netflix, I think, and maybe Hulu. I don't want to pay for CBS All Access. I don't. I was going to sign up to watch Discovery, and then the splash page on the website was just a big picture of young Sheldon, and I closed the tab. It's like, no. Oh, a list of essential episodes? I like the bad stuff too, though.
Seems like something out of a storybook, except
That reminds me, I gotta watch The Expanse. Is The Expanse mostly a dialogue-driven show? I'm finding I want dialogue-driven shows for when I work out, because I listen to it mostly and can glance over and see it every so often. Watch The Expanse already? Okay, great. That's perfect then. Basically like a radio drama podcast. I love The Twilight Zone. And I actually really like the reboot too. I thought the reboot was still super along the spirit of original Twilight Zone. I do know some people didn't really care for the reboot, but I think they were comparing the full season to the best episodes of the Twilight Zone, whereas the ratio on that show was not not tip top. There were some not great episodes of Twilight Zone too, and some real goofy ones. Y'all remember when Dr. Crusher fucked a ghost? Man, I don't. What's up, a Hick 420? Nice. Nice, bro. I love everything about your name. Started using video workouts. Used to listen to TCM while working out. Oh man, Steph cracked into TCM yesterday. We watched a lot of old movies. What was it? There was Strangers on a Train. Was awesome. Finally watched Dial M for Murder. Also incredible. Watched Creature from the Black Lagoon for the first time. That was cute. I've been keeping up with Ring Fit. I actually haven't, Mugiwara, but I think I'm going to get back into it. Maybe Fit Friday. I feel like every Friday, put in a good session on Ring Fit to keep tiptoeing through it. I moved over to just lifting weights, but I got to get back to it. Speaking of getting back to it, I got to use the restroom, dude. I'm drinking water like crazy. So, be back in a second, guys. Okay. Just had another weird thought. So, G-Man said that Gordon was basically unable or unwilling to cooperate. So he's like, okay, you'll do. But really, if you compare the two circumstances, what Gordon did in Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2 versus what Alex did in Half-Life Alyx, because the events of Half-Life 2 hadn't even happened yet. She did not remotely do as much ridiculous shit as Gordon Freeman did. Like, body count way smaller, world-changing events way, way smaller. So it's kind of weird that Alex, according to the G-Man, Alex distinguished herself in terms of being like a mercenary. Again, it may be, well, you let me free, so that's a big deal. I guess that counts as a pretty destiny-changing event. She did break out the G-Man. Yeah, that's true. Half-Life Alyx wasn't in the main timeline? I guess. So there's two versions of Alex? Didn't Gordon do what the G-Man wanted? Did he refuse something in the future? The Vortigaunts blocked the G-Man from tracking him or accessing him. So, but if the Vortigaunts did that for Gordon, why couldn't they just do it for Alex? Does Vortigaunt power only block the G-Man from one person at a time? Was a test created by the G-Man? How could G-Man basically get caught by the Combine? Okay. True. I guess. Yeah, because I guess the events of the other Half-Lives were tests as well. Because G-Man basically orchestrated the Resonance Cascade and Black Mesa, and then dropped Gordon into City 17 to see what would happen. I kind of look like the G-Man? Cool. Wow. I'm struggling to find consistency. He let the Combine catch him to see if Alex could free him. I guess. Yeah, when you have to really kind of be very generous with motivations, yeah, Chewbacca's correct. Bad writing is the answer. I want to believe that's not true, but it seems like it. Do your best G-Man impression. Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. I need to workshop that a little bit. Wake up and smell the ashes. He hisses a lot and he trembles his voice a lot. I'd have to experiment a little bit to really nail it down. When your name is spelled Alex, you're special? Yeah. When the only vowel in your name is a Y, sounds like the Matrix guy, Mr. Smith. I'm okay with that. You're about to Mr. Anderson, weren't you? Too much of an Agent Smith? Yeah, maybe. I'd have to listen to it, say it into a mic, and then hear my own voice back to experiment to find it. It's kind of like echolocation. That's what I've kind of learned is people who are good at voice acting have done it enough that they just know how to hit a certain tone. People who don't, like me, need to fiddle around and kind of play and then find something and lock it in. He tends to space out his syllables. Yeah, he speaks like he doesn't understand English phonetics. Been a long-time fan through Funhouse. Good to see you're doing well this time. Looking forward to seeing where you go. Well, thank you, Bo. Hey, thank you. Don't thank me. Thank you. That's a very, very kind wish. I appreciate that. Yeah, his cadence would have to be practiced. Yeah, which I'm sure they did for when they recorded his lines. But the pillar found in the crossroads is best described as an onyx spike that protrudes from the cave floor like an imposing stalagmite. Despite its aggressive silhouette, the structure has an undeniable allure. Freud would certainly have something to say about the pillar's overly erect nature, but I'm more drawn to Whitmore's essay on dynamic layers, structures within structures, the fractal mirror in every being. Given its significant location, I believe the pillar is either the very heart of the oldest house or an intrusion within that heart. Or perhaps it's like the husk of a seed from which the oldest house sprouted. Trottier wrote that great architecture isn't built, it grows. But then why does the pillar look so different from the rest of this place's concrete walls and rocky caverns? It's easier to see it as an anomaly, a buried artifact, a foreign body, a demonic phallus. I wonder if this pillar is any more welcome here than we are. Cool. Alright, well let's actually get in this thing. Spend enough time complaining about... It's hurt. So I guess it's a good thing? I guess we'll find out. Oh no, what, Ryu? You downloaded Control and you have to basically replay the whole game? They lost your save? That sucks, dude. I mean, it's a good game, but that's a lot of replaying to do to just to get to the DLC. Huh.
So I can only choose one? I thought I was done with these tests.
I can make platforms. Or I can break them? I mean... Oh! So some of the... Okay, so some treasures I can only get to by manifesting... platforms. Other ones I can only get to by shattering shit around them. Interesting. Yeah, did the cloud save fuck up? Because, yeah, I know Epic Game Store was rolling out cloud saves around the time. I'll make platforms. That looks kind of cool. I like the animation of them sprouting more than the animation of them shattering. That's kind of it. ¿Por qué no lo dos? Yeah. Typical EGS crap. I mean, that is kind of EGS crap. If Epic Game Store corrupted your save, that fucking sucks. I've never had that happen in like Steam or anything like that. Ooh, the first director. I'm special. What's up, Big Nate? I'm really sorry to hear that, man. I wish there was something I could do. Certain informations crumble after being shaped. Alright. Yeah, contact Epic. Maybe. I do know that, like, control saves are a physical file on your hard drive. Well, I guess if you've uninstalled it, it's probably not kicking around still. Maybe they can just give you a, maybe if you contact Remedy or something like that, they can just give you, like, a default endgame save. Just something to get you started. I know that, like, when I loaded my save, they kind of, like, unequipped everything and redid all my mods, so one of the updates did sort of try to revert the game. Ooh. Oh, Mugiwara, thanks for the resub. I feel like it should still be stored in your documents. Yeah, I think they are. How you doing on this fine Sunday afternoon? I'm doing pretty good, man. Feeling just a touch queasy from all the vodka I got into last night, but I don't regret it. Polish vodka is a beautiful thing. Elemental source gain. Oh. I think it's one of, yeah, it's one of these. Huh. Oh, just +2. It's my favorite outfit in this game from the Essage fight. Hmm. Yeah, I didn't even know I had it. God, that vodka was so good though. I kind of want more, but I can't. I cannot. I'm not gonna get COVID hot this way. This is supposed to be my cocooning process. This is my hyperbolic time chamber. When everyone else gets out of the flu, I'll have abs. That's the point. I can stay at home and precisely track my calories. Honestly, what's throwing me off about calorie stuff is I've been trying to order from restaurants that I really like around LA, trying to make sure they still get money, and when you order out, you have no idea what's in that food, so it's really hard to track calories. Wrong button. That's the fight in the mirror dimension? Oh, okay. That was awesome, and also hard as shit.
Let's review. This broke.
Yep. Why are you telling me I have mods? What are you doing?
Broken pillar is called the nail. It was broken by something, and now the astral plane is bleeding into the foundation, which will destroy the oldest house, the bureau, and everyone inside. I need to find 4 locks, or keys, or whatever, to stop that from happening. But I'm the director. I've handled worse. This should be simple-ish. You with me?
Oh yeah, Polaris is still kind of there. I got a lot of games going on right now, but is Shenmue on the table anytime soon? I love watching you playing that silly game. I love playing that silly game. I'm gonna try my best to figure out room for Shenmue. Oh, there's more fucking things. Wow, there's a lot I didn't buy. All right, sure. Okay, so it's still in the cave system? Alrighty. I was wondering if they were just gonna, throw all the keys in, like, back in the game. I'm so used to DLC not really creating a lot of new assets. Like the, I guess this is a little on the nose right now, but the Alan Wake DLC was like, okay, these are levels that I have played already. You just put a color filter on them. I mean, I'm in it, but... And then American Nightmare, I think you played through the same thing like 3 times. Doing computer science homework, Java, to make me curious. I know you've talked about having a bachelor's in computer science. Is there programming languages you remember? I mean, if I were to sit down and code in them right now, probably not. I'd have to, like, look up syntax and stuff like that. But, I think once you have the mentality of coding, it doesn't really leave. Once you understand the fundamentals of how computer languages work, it's not that hard to translate what you want a computer to do into whatever language you are using at the moment. Because it is just literally translation. It's just like language. The next DLC, oh yeah, has an Alan Wake tie-in? Very much so. Very much aware of that. Very, very excited for it. Oh yes. Is new DLC out? Yep. Came out a couple days ago, actually. Can I get a plot and lore catch-up on Control? A lot of people are asking that, actually. If you're familiar with SCP, that shortcuts the process by quite a bit. Because it's SCP, the video game. In a more profound way than, like, Containment Breach or something like that. But if you're not familiar with SCP, then it gets a little more complicated. Oh, right. You can smash things. Rawr! Essentially, the game takes place in the Federal Bureau of Control. Oh, you're not familiar. Okay. So, in our world, and also in the world of Control, there are things called objects of power that change reality and do all sorts of crazy shit. There's some deep philosophy behind what they are and how they work. Oh god. There's some dudes flying around. But essentially, there is a government agency designed to find and isolate and contain these wacky-ass objects that can kill people or cause entire towns to disappear. So essentially, in the world of Control, there are these federal G-men, the men in black, that show up and basically try to contain and protect people from the things that are out there basically playing havoc with reality. In the world of Control, you, Jesse Faden, become the director of the Bureau of Control. And it's your job to basically protect the world from whatever wackiness is going down.
Is this a Bureau ID badge? Looks so old. Hope will definitely want to see this.
No using photocopier for personal projects, or the 3D printer, or the Bureau stationery. So yeah, the kind of the vibe of Control is that it's a workplace filled with people who do boring workplace things like complain about the coffee being empty, while at the same time dealing with refrigerators that will murder you or turn you into paste if you don't stare at it. If a human being isn't maintaining eye contact with it at all times.
28 days now spent inside what we're calling the oldest house. Northmore insists on the name. I'm too tired to ask why. I'm not sleeping well. Per orders, me and my research team have established a permanent examination lab in the Foundation. I basically live down here now, like the obedient head of research Father raised me to be. I spend my days investigating that odd pillar where Northmore found the handgun. The work was half-hearted at first, I admit. But then I discovered numerous non-Aristotelian energy channels converging at its base.
It's a
Ley lines, dragon roads,
incredible phrase.
Hylogalinian, call them what you want. But this pillar is the crossroads. I started building something. Equal parts talisman and technology. An array that can impose order on the ley junctions. That's the idea, at least. We'll see when I'm done.
Huh.
I prefer to work away from the pillar. I'm not the only one who feels like that thing has eyes.
Kind of surprised Control didn't give more lore about employees fucking. They're basically living in a quarantine-style life, and you figure they get down way more. Yeah, at least they acknowledged it. I feel like there are enough token acknowledgements of people being people that it kind of creates the vibe well enough. Of people being like, I don't know, just like generally catty or shitty or complaining about dumb things that don't matter. I don't like that boy making noise. Okay, he explodes. Is there some lore in here? Eat it. I touched it.
Weird place to leave an ID card, but okay.
I'm guessing if you find all the ID cards, you get a little goodie. Maybe like... maybe a skin? Ooh, that's some lore. On the pyramid and geometry. I've been going through my library, researching pyramids and triangles. If that shape does relate to the board, as Northmore says, then perhaps our predecessors in the occult can offer some insight through their geometric knowledge. In esotericism, the triangle is closely associated with the Holy Trinity and other three-part concepts, past, present, future, mind, body, spirit. Interestingly, the term board also implies multiple parts. Upright triangles in Judeo-Christian imagery indicate ascent into the rational and divine realm. Inverted, it signifies a descent into the corporeal and human. Naturally, the ascent is masculine and the fall is feminine, Adam and Eve. That's just a bit of old world patriarchy. It's 1964 now and we're well past this silliness. Okay, we're in the mid-60s. Makes sense, actually. Considering the above, what does the inverted triangle tell us about the board? They're clearly not corporeal or human. Perhaps they wish to be, or that they once were. The likeliest answer is that that theological imagery cannot help us define alien entities. But still, the pyramid seems significant. Shapes have power, and clearly so does the board. I kind of viewed it as they are on another plane of existence, another like kind of elevated plane, and that is the imagery that is incidental to them coming down to our level, or it trying to interact with us in our reality. But who knows? Who knows if that's the case or not? I do appreciate that a lot of it's pretty clear that the writers at Remedy are washing stations. Alan Wake was maybe a little too much in literary influence for most people, I think. I liked it, but I think to some degree the story may have been a little too representative and allegorical for its own good. Control seems like a really good mix. Like, Quantum Break was a little not enough. Quantum Break was kind of just a middling like TV show. There was some cool stuff in there, but I feel like Control hits a really good line between cramming in a bunch of literary references and smart shit, while not being too out there. The story itself is fine with Alan Wake. The gameplay was the issue. I don't know, man. Do you remember the story? Does anyone? Remember? Lady of the Lake stole Alan Wake's wife, sort of. I viewed it as an allegory for the creative process of like his muse was taken, so he was no longer able to write. His control of his reality was taken away. But who knows, you know? When did I get gifted a sub? Oh, I don't know. Iota, sometimes it'll say, but I guess maybe sometimes it doesn't. It's dark and he has a flashlight. What more do you want? I guess you're right. Not a lot. The history of the oldest house. Ooh. The oldest house has revealed much to me during my months in the Foundation, but many questions remain. Primarily, the tree etchings bewilder me. What is their significance? If the house has changed shape over its lifetime as I've theorized, then was a tree its first form? Ooh. Are we talking Yggdrasil? Oh, yep. It's referenced down there. Okay. I sent a team to the Schwarzman building in search of pre-settlement accounts of Manhattan Island. From those, I discover a single relevant line, and there I found a tree not known to me, the devil twisted within its bark. That line, taken with the fact that certain American cultures believed some trees would offer wisdom and guidance, is indeed interesting. However, it's hardly firm evidence, and though I am now bound to the oldest house, I remain a man of science. Of course, there are numerous ancient beliefs regarding trees. Yggdrasil, the Tree of Knowledge, Yox Imexche. Don't know that last one, that's interesting. Some cultures offered blood sacrifices to trees, while others claimed trees endowed chosen individuals with inhuman powers. Do New York City's many murderers act as sacrifice for the oldest house? Does the house have a chosen champion? Is it me? Huh. Look at all those rays. You can see things reflected that aren't drawn in the screen. Oh, like the wirewood trees in A Song of Ice and Fire? Yeah? American Nightmare had a whole different vibe too. It did. Mr. Scratch. Y'all remember Mr. Scratch? Someone want to go on record and say that that made sense? I mean, maybe it did. I think if you dive deep into like allegorical shit, you can probably find a number of explanations for who Mr. Scratch was, but I don't know. Maybe it was just straight up David Lynch shit. Like, we ain't got to explain anything. Just roll with it. Is Alan Wake worth playing now that it's on PC? I think so. I think Alan Wake is one of those games that's worth playing because you just won't find a game like it. I don't know what I just powered up, but... It's been on PC for years, yeah. Wait, do I want to go there? Complete the ritual. Oh. Never mind, I'm going up. I would say all of Remedy's output is worth playing. Quantum Break is probably the one that's the least interesting, even though I still really liked it. At least it's short. Like, Quantum Break is a pretty digestible and pretty fast-flowing TV show. I'm enjoying the DLC. I mean, it's more control, so I love it. I haven't played it enough to have a good holistic opinion, though. The invention of the power core, huh. After numerous attempts, I finally found a way to intercept and contain the ambient energy of the ley lines in a kind of non-Aristotelian battery I've dubbed the power core. What is a non-Aristotelian... What does that mean? What was Aristotle's deal? I can't remember. I admit it was difficult capturing an energy I can barely measure, much less interact with. Luckily, it seems that the porous stone of the Foundation's caverns possess such conductive qualities. Using stone flakes and copper wire, my power cores collect significant power. My early prototypes collected too much, in fact, but I've since reinforced the container. We don't yet know the repercussions of tapping into this power field. As a precaution, these devices should not be taken outside of the house. Ideally, the Bureau should no longer need to rely on typical energy sources. It's my greatest feat of engineering yet. I've always had an interest in invention. I like the creativity that it allowed, set within the firm boundaries of logic and physics. Father never approved. Father, calling it a mundane science. With that in mind, I dedicate this invention to Theodore Ashe Sr. May he scowl in peace. Oh. Wait. Do I need to carry the... Oh, okay, there's probably some shit where you have to, like, charge the cubes before you can actually... Yeah. Oh, there's one... Never mind, there's one juice one in there. Yeah, physics. Physics! Huh! I guess this is gonna let me go to another floor? Who knows, I might need a powered one later. Take this with me. Hey! Hey! Come back. Is there a way to drop something? Oh, whatever, that'll do. Oh, okay. Yox Imexche is the world tree in Mayan mythology. Very cool. I did not know that. All these DJs spinning house on Twitch right now makes me wish I like their specific subgenre of house. I like house. I guess yeah, DJs don't have anywhere to play these days. I did see a clip from, like somebody retweeted a clip from Insomniac events of somebody doing a 90s rave just in a room alone, but I do like 90s rave music, so I was hoping I could find it.
Northmore has ordered an all-hands search for objects similar to the service weapon. He claims there are more in the house, though I don't see how he's so certain. He's been strange lately, talking about joining greater causes and frequently mentioning the pyramid. After pressing him, he finally described this pyramid to me. Inverted, black, mathematically perfect. Oddly enough, Adam and the other id have shown me numerous inverted triangles painted on the cave walls. Surely there's a connection. But I don't see it yet.
More of a trance guy?
As far as occult...
Yeah, it depends what I'm doing.
Triangles are by no means rare.
House is really good work music.
Oh, they used that shape like it was going out of fashion.
Also pretty good gaming music.
Standing on their base.
It's like more active. If I'm just relaxing or something like that, or working out, I feel like trance is better.
Conflict and stagnation. Of course, the orientation is just a matter of perspective. Looking at the pyramid from below gives you one, from above another.
Drum and bass.
North.
To me, drum and bass is driving music,
Pyramid.
and like doing racing games.
I have to wonder.
Or Sims.
Is anyone standing over it, looking down?
Is this DLC worth it? I don't know yet. Madagatos, I am still playing through it myself. But I'm kind of the guy, like I was gonna pay money for more control no matter what it was, so I may not be the most discerning critic there. I'm just happy to have more sweet control to play and enjoy and love and savor. So I may be biased. In fact, I am. Just admitted it. Chill trap death metalcore hardstyle is where it's at. Boy, that sounds. I love how. Oh god, look at that light. My dark soul is filled with light. Beautiful. Ugh, it's just so moody. I love it. Like how they had to put up some stone shit so something fell over when you activated the point. Oh yeah, Anavad, you just found out about the Replicant remake? Great news, man. God bless. So wait, is Platinum Games doing the remake? I guess I didn't really digest all the news, just saw it on Twitter. Hey, who did that? What motherfucker just hit me with the thing? There we go. That's what I was waiting for. Look into my eyes. I guess it's not really like that. It's not really that ability at all. What a... Tries to use guns, realizes it's useless. Throws some shit at enemy, wins. Trying to mix it up a little bit, but boy is throwing things just the entire game, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Oh right, forgot about that. What? Oh. Hey. Ow! Jesus. Oh, yeah. Those guys. I guess something bad was hitting me. Fuck the Rapunzel boss in Kingdom Hearts 3. Is that in the DLC, man? I don't remember anything from that game. Oh. I didn't know tokens could just drop. That's nice. Oh, is it square root of 5? That's what that number is? Okay. Does that have some significance in Nier? Square root of 5? Oh, right. No, I don't want to do that. Let's see here. Warehouse, yeah. Did you finish Indivisible? I did not. Man. It's another game that'd be nice to go back to someday. I really like the vibe of that game, but no, unfortunately, I did not find the time to get back to it yet.
I'm here, aren't I? I saved the Bureau once, and I'll do it again.
Huh. Eh? Hold on a second. You actually get...
I've served under 2 directors. 3 now, I suppose. Trench and I worked our way up together. We made it through the tough cases, the bad days, the casualties. He was the epitome of a good agent. Smart, decisive, selfless. And he picked up that damn gun. Becoming director is a formal process overseen by the board. Lots of ritual and mystery.
My mouse keeps moving.
After that, key staff provide detailed briefs on all classified matters. Past and present. But with Faden, well, there's no protocol for field promotion. The girl's smart, has a good head on her shoulders. I'm trusting her to handle the hiss upstairs, while I hold them off here. All this shit with the nail, the board, I'm not sure she's ready. Besides, I work better alone.
So she said up there and down here. So I guess, yeah, when you die, you go to another plane of existence. Or maybe directors go to another plane of existence when they're dead, and you can talk to them through the hotline. Who are the Hiss? Good question, Walrus. Nobody really knows. The Hiss is a... The best way to think about it, I guess, is a frequency that disrupts thought patterns in reality. It kind of corrupts people and makes them sort of turn comatose. It's not known if the Hiss has a consciousness or it's just sort of malignant by nature. But it does cause people to float and whisper and go crazy. The Hiss also corrupts objects of power and makes them more destructive. So the Hiss is bad, but it's unknown what it is or even the true nature of it. That's what the entire base game is about. Basically, Jessie Faden finds the Bureau of Control to find her brother, because her brother was taken in an incident when they were younger because they discovered an object of power. She literally meant down in the Foundation. Oh, well, she's dead, though, because she's not corporeal, it doesn't seem. But yeah, you could, yeah, Red Roofy, I think you're probably right. I guess I'm seeking to understand the nature of directors and what happens to them after they die.
I only heard of the Foundation when I became head of operations. The very bottom of the oldest house. Director access only. Just the name alone is classified. Zachariah gave me a tour the day I was promoted. Said I should see it for myself.
Hey, Geopsych.
To understand.
Good to see you.
After that, I snuck down on my own from time to time to keep tabs on the place. And on them. But nothing ever changed down there. Not even the walls. It's solid, permanent, different from the rest of the house. Of course, they were always watching me. I never stayed long. I'm not stupid. I have to stop the hiss from finding this place. I'm the only one who can.
This actress is in so many games these days. Is it the, It's not the same lady who was in, like, Wolfenstein and Jedi, was it? That doesn't sound like her voice. Deborah Wilson, I think? Is that her? I guess it might be. If it is, man. Female Nolan North. That's Laura Bailey, isn't it? Googling? Yeah. It doesn't sound like her, but I guess that's the whole point of acting. Yeah, she's in COD. Okay, I didn't get that far in Modern Warfare. I gotta play that campaign, dude. I love COD campaigns. I tried that one time and it had some weird... Oh, Jennifer Hale, yeah. How much have you done of the DLC? I've only played it for, I want to say, an hour and a half now. I'm trucking along here. They give you a new power. There's some new enemy types, so by the numbers, DLC's looking pretty fun so far. Oh, what is that? Oh, okay. All right, he dodges. Ugh. Thanks for not shooting me a bunch. Appreciate that. Right neighborly of you. Click the heads. Click the heads. Ah! You guys weren't supposed to get in on me like that. Oh! What? Oh yeah, they can tell. They can teleport slash go invisible. This game looks cool. Pineapple Paladin control is very cool. I am hoping that with DLC and stuff they get a few more swipes at getting people interested in it. I think it's on sale right now. It's a fantastic single player experience. Kind of Metroidvania style. Get sweet gun, float around, kill people. Awesome, awesome game. Playing Hollow Knight all day and I think I'm stuck now. Oof, I know that feeling. I know that feeling. Man, getting stuck in Hollow Knight is like 60% of that game. Yeah, all the guns feel really different, too. The thing that made getting stuck in Hollow Knight sting a little more was just how long it took to move through the world just to investigate other places. It took so long to get through some of those screens just because they would wind back in on themselves. It'd be like one square on the map, but you have to do this whole fucking thing just to get through it. How long is this game? The main campaign, I don't quite remember, if I'm being honest. I want to say it's like 15-20 hours. There's a decent amount of side content you can get up to if you're looking to extend your playtime, though. It does have a somewhat loose, like, extended progression system where you can level up and like get mods and increase your stats, things like that. Yeah, it depends if you do everything. Yeah. I think I could shoot through that. Bring it back. No. So bad at platformers and got stuck to the point of leaving it in Hollow Knight. Great game though. Yeah. There's not a whole lot of outreach if you're not ace at platforming in that game. That is kind of the game. Appreciate it wasn't strictly linear, so I could do other stuff without where I would get on a boss or something. Yeah, that was always nice. Treasure. Yeah, Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is so good. The new Ori seems like it's got some notes from Hollow Knight in it, which is not a bad thing. 10 years in the making? Hard to believe it's game day? Wait, for which game? Anything over here? Yeah, the side stuff in Control was super good. The mirror, the ashtray maze. Wait, no, the ashtray maze you had to do in the campaign. How the fuck do you get in there? Aha! A smashable wall. Not quite what I needed, but there it is. Oh man, Bannerlord, yeah. I have not played the original Mount and Blade, but heard so many great things about it. Just as bad Exit the Gungeon, but I love Enter the Gungeon too much to stop that. I bought Exit the Gungeon and played it for like an hour. I want to try it out more. I like that they really mixed up the game style. I always love it when sequels do that. Am I missing something obvious here? Control should have done more main stuff like the side stuff. It was not crazy enough. I mean, yeah. Somebody has to make it, though. It's, I agree, in general. Having more good things and less bad things in a game is good. I kind of try not to... I don't know. You're essentially asking for the unexpected. Like, I want more things that surprised me, and that's a very difficult thing to deliver in scale. Damn. Can you take the elevator up? No, I have to, maybe I send the elevator down, and then I can get above it. You have to put in the battery to be able to get to the next floor. So let me try this. Can I get out before the doors close? No, I cannot. I guess I can take this. So wait. Why do I keep going down? Bring the battery? It won't let me go back up. I don't think. Maybe I have to take the battery all the way? That seems a bit excessive, though. This game is on my list. Was very much enjoying it. Have yet to get that far, though. Man. Oh. I don't know if you were talking specifically about Control. So yeah, I need the battery in that elevator to be able to take it up to that floor. I can call it on that floor. But I can't go to it with the battery in the elevator car. So now I'm a floor down. Maybe I just have to carry the fucking thing with me. That seems like a lot, but maybe that is what I have to do. Ah, shit. Get my... It's like... If I drop it at any point, I'm dicked. Oh yeah, Bloodstained. Oh man, I forgot about Bloodstained. That's a... God, I hope I get back to it someday game for sure. I played this morning and I've forgotten what to do. It happens. This does look cool. Yeah. This game's cool. I like this game a lot. Magle Tiger, thanks for gifting a sub. Ah, appreciate that. Shame they kind of soured their image. Would love a Bloodstain too. Alright, what happened, guest account? I haven't followed any... If there's any hot drama, I don't know what it is. It seemed to me that the game came out, was really good, and as usual in the AA space, nobody really cared because other bigger releases sucked all the air out of the room. Your memory is pretty key to it? to Bloodstained? Like, what do you mean by that memory? Like, did they give you really arcane hints and you have to have a good memory to finish the game? A shit show with Kickstarter? I don't recall there being one, but maybe there was. You don't need to bring your battery, shoot the node just like the others. It takes more hits because it's through the grate. Is it really that simple? That's aggravating, if that's the case. Well, here's a good thing. Found some lore and a treasure chest that I didn't find before, so it was worth it in the end. Meteor Hill supplement. Interesting. Per archival mandates 8.A, this document has been edited to meet current administrative standards. Certain terminology may be out of date. Details. The retrieved material was subjected to Fellstrom's array, configuration 74B, but the tests were halted as the matter began to physically elude the equipment. Attempts to constrain the element were made, but under further stress it became vaporous. The researchers suffered corrosive injuries prior to their deaths. The child victims at Meteor Hill recounted the material enveloping them in a pleasant manner, making contact, but when discovered they were and screaming. Bodily changes were perceived immediately: deformities, loss of pigment in the skin and hair, and mental symptoms surfaced in subsequent examinations: confusion and heightened aggression. The Department of Public Knowledge and Diversions gave statements claiming the incident was caused by debris from poorly made Russian satellites, which the public accepted with no complications. The children were sent to Bureau's recuperation facility in Blank to receive help away from society. So yeah, this is kind of a good summary of how the Bureau of Control works within the context of the game, is that there are things found in the world that will just, by their nature, corrupt or change reality in ways that are not so harmonious with human life. And then the Bureau will come in, try and save or recuperate those people, remove and study the items to try and understand their nature, and then also offer some sort of smokescreen story that excuses the incident, so that the general public doesn't freak out that their reality is a lot less focused than they consider it to be. All right, I'm gonna take this thing anyway since I've already brought it this far. Decimated, thanks for gifting a sub. Oh, I can't. I don't know that I can. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull these ledges out. Oh, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna make it happen. Make it magic. Make it beautiful. I think the way they prevent you from doing this is by making it so that you have to... Oh, shit. Oh, shit! Alright, fuck it, whatever. I'm giving up on this. Yeah, just like real life. Oh, thank you for paying it forward, Decimated. That's super kind of you. We all gotta do that in one way or another these days. Whether or not you're gifting that roll of toilet paper to somebody who really needs it, or you're chipping in some money on Twitch. We all gotta pay it forward. Yeah, they specialize in covering up paranormal activity. Yeah. The explanation given at the beginning of Control is that most people would lose their minds if they were to understand just how, like, fragile the reality they know is, they wouldn't be able to go on about their days or, like, lead normal lives. So, typical government conspiracy shit. Man, they're on us. Okay, so apparently the answer is to just shoot it a lot. I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't consider that, but... Oh yeah, Cypratine, you're thinking about SCP. Are you sure I'm supposed to shoot it? Let me toss something at the node. Oh, okay, yeah. That did it, thank you. How was this game? I love it, Sniper Doggy Dog. It's one of my favorite games of the last, like, I want to say 5 years or so? Ow! All I wanted to do was hit F! God damn it. And then there was an explosive thing that I grabbed instead because of my mind powers. Yes, it's true. It stands for the Secure Clown Posse. The Secular Clown Posse. Okay, so each battery powers a generator that allows the elevator to go up one more floor. Or a lot more floors, wow. Okay, gotcha. Those are the 2 floors I passed. F for fire, yeah. F for Fexplosive Barrel. Gotten the yellow suit from Luck and Probability Sector? No, I haven't. I did all the things. I think I have to go back. Oh boy, there's some creepy shit going on. Look at these rays, you guys. Did you see these rays? Catch these rays. Geopsych, yeah, I thought I did all the things to like maximize my luck. But I never saw the suit materialize. What's up, Denga Key? How are you? I'm getting a little hungry. I'm gonna have to take a break and eat something here in a second. Why do they keep telling me I'm in the warehouse? I know that. Ooh.
Another etching. Like the one I used to get in here.
Maybe this is the ritual. Denga, you got some sensitive wiener if that's all it takes. Whoa! What? Oh, fancy. What the fuck is that? Ugh. I'm concerned. Oh! Holy fuck. Oh, I remember these things now, I think. Ah, dang it. Hey, Viscera Obscura. Hello. Fire extinguisher went off on one of rolls and I shit myself. Wait. Aw, man. I feel like I'm actually pretty far back. Ugh. Yeah. I guess that was the last point. I guess it remains to be seen if the battery thing is still there. Or if I have to do that again. Yeah. Sick name. Absolutely sick name. Is this another lore closet I didn't find before? It is. Huh. Agent killed during blank involving blank. Codename P6. Autopsy findings. Blunt force injuries to the back or the head and neck. Extensive trauma of the abdominal region. Lacerations and contusions of the upper and lower torso. Fracture of the spinal cord between the L1 and L2 vertebra. Avulsion fracture of the 3rd through 10th ribs, left and right. Blunt force injuries to the extremities. Abrasions, lacerations, and contusions of the extremities. Dislocation of left and right elbow. Dislocation of left and right knee. Ugh. Good God. That guy got fucked up. It was worth it for the lore. You've read this? I have? I don't remember that. Fuck. Damn it! No! Fuck. Fine. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Let me, fuck, man. I'm all the way down here again. Well, at least there's the central elevator. Found the dock in the Panopticon in the vanilla game? Huh. Interesting. Stop it. Use, not use. Okay, the battery's still in there, thank God. Arguably worse that you survived the fall, right? Yeah. I thought I was just gonna, like, hit a kill plane and then respawn. That's fine. This is actually faster, I think. The sound of knees liquefying. Walking on air or water? Huh. Excuse me. I'm gonna say water. Oh, I feel like I can probably shoot those. Maybe? I am just thinking about Like, think about walking on air. It looks kind of goofy. It's arguably way more utilitarian, but I think it probably looks stupid. You have to I think you have to shield blast those guys? Dude. These things look so gnarly. Ugh. Hey. Yeah, fuck him up, please. Holy crap. I'm doing like no damage to this guy. Oh, right. Heal orb. Nope. Fuck. Where are you, heal orb? Maybe it died. Oh, it died, okay. Yeah. Sounds are unsettling. Yeah, they're meant to be otherworldly. Inhuman. I'll see you, best toast. Oh yeah, the former.
Is this the lock/key you were telling me about?
So there's some entity in the astral plane called the former that is, the board doesn't like that thing and doesn't really want you talking to it. I gotta restore it with my restorative psycho powers. I wonder if you get the shooty power, do you break them instead of restore them?
Just doing my job.
Huh. Awesome. I was like, I'm gonna clip through this thing, right? No, I can stand on it. And it's got reflections! Spend an embarrassing amount of time in the astral plane in photo mode. Well, I mean, feel free to share your results if you're proud of any of your photos. What's up, world premiere? Welcome. If you look at those things in photo mode, they're wearing high heels. Oh, those screeny things? Orb. Actually, the control run that was at Games Done Quick was really, really awesome. Gotta be stylish even if you're Abomination. Yeah.
Director Faden's got this covered.
Alrighty. Well... Wait. Go this way. Praise Sphere. I offer up my free will to Sphere. Tell me, Sphere. Tell me what to do. Damn. I was hoping it would drop me into a... Oh, it did. No, it didn't. I was hoping it dropped me into a room with a point of, control point in it. So that I could fast travel. Ah, that's good enough. Does this take place after Endgame? Yes? Yes. I think somebody did say that you actually do have to have the game completed to start the DLC. Oh, hell yeah, launch damage. I'll take that. Thank you. Can I afford anything with 1 point? No? Okay. Why does it say 1? I feel like you're telling me I can buy something. Are you lying to me? Oh, maybe that just means I have 1 point. Yeah, that could be it. The game almost lied to me. This looks like the winged safe from 13. Oh my gosh, they do! I haven't thought about anything involving Final Fantasy 13 in a long time. And my life's been pretty good. So wait, how do I get in here if I can't? So I gotta go this way. Is this one of the copies they were talking about? I think I've already heard this.
It's been 5 days since we first entered the building. Traversing the interior is dangerous due to the shifting, but we did manage to find a lower cavern that seems structurally predictable.
I don't remember this.
Which is a scientific way of saying its walls won't crush us in our sleep. Northmore even made it
Some deep cuts aren't worth going for.
placed on a stone.
Never say that.
Some of that strange ebony.
I want you to go for every deep cut you can.
Seems like something out of a storybook, except the heroes usually find swords, not handguns. But it is the perfect lure for someone like him.
Who, Trench?
Hours after
Or Northmore.
Weapon, Northmore cornered me to spout some nonsense about how the board had made him the director. He ran it about the title being meaningless before now, calling Father and all other previous directors shams, frauds, and worse. I think this place is worse for Northmore than it is for me.
Getting late where you are, Game and Chips? Alright. Have a good night.
There was no pedestal.
You're making me hungry, though.
A day ago.
Man.
This building has swallowed a dozen of
No. I was gonna, like, seeing your name, also being hungry. I'm like, I really want to just, I want to Postmate some McDonald's, but
we don't even know the rules.
I am not. I will be strong. I will eat healthy food. This is so weird, though, to be in this position of, like, it is my civic duty to stay inside and support the economy by ordering takeout and playing video games all day. How did this happen? I mean, I understand it's bad. And to dress it up like it's a good thing is extremely insensitive. And I'm not trying to do that. But for my specific circumstance, that's kind of the position I've found myself in. Which is something else. It's a weird thing to wrap my head around. So, yeah, okay, thank you, Bitters. I need to support the economy with my rock-hard abs. It's alarming how little my routine has changed. Yeah, I guess same for me. There were a lot of other projects I was gonna be doing right now, but they all involved travel and significant productions. So those are just not happening. So instead of my routine actually changing for all the projects that I alluded to, now I'm just doing this instead. Which, you know, I'm still fine with it. I'm cool. All those projects, the word is they're still going to happen. It's just the timelines have been pushed significantly to an indeterminate future. I have a lot of chili and many cans of garbanzo beans. Would make hummus without tahini. It's not as good. Are garbanzo the beans the same as chickpeas? I thought hummus was chickpeas, oil, and tahini. Yeah, COVID is altering the timelines. Yep. G-Man put COVID here so that he could make a real-world prequel to whatever the hell. Not to rock the boat. You timed your career transition perfectly. Looks like the Funhouse guys are under a lot of stress. Yeah. I don't... Yeah. I kind of did, yeah. I don't really get that, though. Like, I shouldn't speak out of turn. And it's certainly not my business, but home production isn't that hard. It's not that different from producing in an office. At least not for me, I guess. I never really had an issue with it. Oh shit, Pope's down here now. Oh damn.
Jesse, hey.
Everything changed. Shit. Why was I not paying attention to any of this?
What are you doing down here, Emily?
What do you mean? You called me down, remember?
Uh-oh.
I'm pretty sure I didn't.
That's bad.
No, that's right. You didn't. I remember you needing me to come here. I mean, you even told me how to get in. Let's just chalk it up to synchronicity so we can get to work.
She takes everything in stride.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Daedalus Muse? It has been a bit. How you been doing?
The astral plane is
Colliding with our world, I know. Isn't it fascinating?
Emily Pope is
I hadn't
awesome.
even considered that the astral plane could be a physical volume expanding beyond its dimensional container. The bleed is localized to this area, but its growth rate seems steady. Given time, it will consume the entire Bureau, and possibly beyond.
Is the main character the chick from Dexter? I don't think so.
told me to fix the nail over.
Yeah, Cinder, the faces are a little Play-Doh-y. Blah, 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 blah.
Funny, I think it's put itself back together a bit.
Were you watching it from the
That
perspective?
could be due to the law of inverse exchange. For every associated component you remove, this nail reconstructs. Or possibly some variation of anti-sympathy. Don't worry, I'll look into it. Did you notice all the Bureau infrastructure? It looks like there was a research team stationed down here at some point. Do you think Darling knew about this?
I put money on it. That reminds me.
Their mouths always just look a little bit too open all the time.
She contacted me over the
They're always talking so you can see their teeth,
saw her walking.
which is a little weird.
I haven't seen
I feel like, to some degree,
the hotline only connects extraplanar entities. Or,
you have to...
but Marshall's
Maybe you have to over-emote to make facial capture.
Exactly what.
Pick up your, like, maybe facial capture can't really pick up on the fine details of facial acting, so you have to, like, over-emote everything while you're talking.
on maintaining
Which makes it seem a little weird.
maybe some sort of a
I don't know.
state memory, or they consciously prefer a certain shape. Or,
I think we're on a clock here, Emily. I need to stop the astral bleeding before it brings the oldest house down. See what you
They redid Emily's hair.
in the meantime. And send out some rangers to look for Marshall. She may be in trouble.
will do, Jesse. If you see anything interesting, remember to take detailed notes. All the tests I run on the nail keep coming back as nonsense.
Huh?
A couple of my instruments have already broken.
Talk to Pope.
We should take that as a sign to pack it in.
I didn't take
Name's Gibbs. Hey Gibbs, thanks for the tier 2 sub. That's a big chonker of a sub. Appreciate that. Thank you. Ready this game to come to Steam and then go on sale? It's only like 20. Yeah, I guess it's not on Steam
This
yet.
isn't my favorite director.
Hey, I'm here. I just did a lap. How you doing?
Jesse, you're back. So did you find anything noteworthy? The original Bureau expedition down here left so much interesting stuff behind.
Like their ID cards.
Oh, the
That's a
ID
weird
cards.
one.
Right.
It's pretty old.
She did mention Emily would want to see it.
Yeah, I found a few ID cards myself.
It is amusing how much of a dork Emily Pope is for
Are you starting a collection?
this game in general, everything in it.
I kid, of course. But I suppose they are sort of like baseball cards, except for Bureau stuff from the 60s. Hey, the one
She's
I found is
so
different
excited.
from mine. It looks like it's a higher clearance.
So those are some high-waisted pants. Damn.
A rare one, then. Want to keep it, Emily?
Yeah, I absolutely do. But I think you should hang on to it for now. High clearance access might come in handy.
Sounds like you have something in mind.
Guilty. See, I've been going through...
They never actually close their lips to make the puh sounds.
Find anyway. Like
Yeah,
to enjoy hiding his most relevant research.
doing like collision of skin is really difficult because
With a special lab.
the elasticity and squish of like a mouth,
Staff members just to access
I could see that being really difficult to render, especially if you're doing like facial
an
capture,
old skeleton key.
because that means you have to combine the actual data you have from somebody talking
$5
with the physics and procedural animation of skin like colliding and squishing and stretching.
And that super secret lab you mentioned.
Bingo bango, as Dr. Darling used to say. Well, keep your eyes peeled for more ID cards around the warehouse. If Ash's notes are reliable, and I'm sure they are, then 5 is the...
Just coded some physics shit and it works. You're right. Lazy devs. Where's the physics? Where?
The Rangers have tapped into an old radio network they found around the Foundation. So if you need backup, just call them at one of the stations.
How did the Hiss get into the Foundation?
Same way we did, I imagine. But you need to remember that the Hiss are the embodiment of persistence. Their nature seems to be one of force, to find every possible vulnerability and exploit it. Their only goal is consumption.
I'm sure there's plenty of goodies for them down here. The nail, for instance.
If the hiss could corrupt the nail, I'm sure they would have by now.
Corners of their mouths are rounded, which isn't realistic.
They could be
They should be flaps overlapping each other and fold into each other.
Around.
Huh.
These are the roots of the oldest house.
Are you, Antonius? Are you in animation?
They're pretty good at that. So you've never heard of the Foundation, huh?
I've never even seen the name referenced. Clearly it's highly classified, but for what reason? The problem
Elbows too pointy.
Closed off hidden areas.
I love that stuff.
Likely sealed for good reason. But now no one is left to tell us what that reason
The thing that I like about
Why the Bureau would hide something like this?
oh, all the porn games seem to have collision figured out. That's a good point.
is spatially
But those aren't rendered in real time,
like the rest of the old
which I think is a bit
If
different.
you ask why that is, I have to admit that I'm clueless. There's some signal
Source Filmmaker is pre-rendered, right?
hard to get a clear reading. It's being emitted from the floor.
Or it can be.
Maybe I should have brought a jackhammer.
The astral.
I guess I don't know. I guess I don't know. I've never downloaded a runtime version of a Source Filmmaker porn scene. And now that I think about it, that would actually be pretty radical because it would render at 2K and like 144 FPS. Oh, not talking about SFM? Oh, okay. I'm not an animation, but I've been watching a lot of VFX guys react to bad CGI videos the last few days. Gotcha. Okay. I guess that's a good way to pick up some commentary.
So let me get this straight. The astral plane.
I find that the writing and the charm of the performance
And that's happening.
does a whole lot of making up for any like quirky animation of the faces.
But yes, that is my understanding.
So
Yeah, the limitations to rigs in real time. That's kind of how I
nail in
feel.
the astral.
Also,
It's a good question.
I try to consider too that like
Objects of power is strings.
this was published by 505, and Remedy
Similar relationship, then maybe it's more accurate to think
like Remedy doesn't have unlimited money.
now that the deal is busted.
And this is not a game that anyone would throw a ton of money behind.
Yes, metaphor.
So I think what they did is still really impressive in terms of the visual fidelity of the game. Also, I just noticed her cuffs. Holy shit, that's cool as hell. And like this pleat on her shirt, it's like her shirt was tailored around the resonance thing, whatever it's called, the thing that prevents her from getting corrupted by the
I
hiss.
should get back out there.
HRC thing?
Agreed. The astral bleed
Isn't
won't
it-
stop itself.
I can't remember the name of it. Remedy lives game to game. It feels like that. I mean, it feels like actually a lot of devs probably do. But yeah, given that their last, granted, I have zero inside information, but it sometimes feels like maybe Remedy's games aren't the blowout successes that other publishers find. Like they don't have Rockstar level success, and some of their dev attempts have been pretty costly. I feel like Quantum Break probably cost a lot to make with all the filming and shit they did. And it seems like Microsoft kind of fronted all the money for that, but I don't know how many more people are going to be willing to cut a check for Remedy to make a thing under their banner. Luckily, this time it was Epic. Professor 86, hey, thank you for the Prime sub. So I tend to cut them a little slack on any rough edges because this game hits a pretty incredible level of like tech fidelity. Regardless, so that's just kind of how I feel about it, I guess. Right, I forgot about these things. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Can you see what they do? Oh, I was on the wrong thing. Okay, it's Rangers, executive sector. I'm not in the executive sector. Yeah, there we go. That's the sort of foundation. Spin. Oh, that didn't look right. Spin kill has sharpened in the foundation. Just gonna make secret headshots. Yes. Okay. Are you talking about boob physics? God, I wish. That's the one thing that would make Control better. I want to know, and I also don't want to know. Are there like big titty mods for Control? I kind of want to know, but I also don't want to know. Okay, so how do I get over there? Oh, Foundation Base Camp? It's all the way over there. How do I get there, though? Because I don't have the other power to be able to get through this. Why can some games sell so well and make a lot of money and establish the sequel, and other games that seem to sell well too don't get the same result for the company? There's so many X factors in that. The tricky part is you never see the numbers. Publicly traded companies have to release some numbers because they legally have to. But you'll never really have the full story about what the costs were, what the expectations were, what the actual profit was, what the expectations of profit were. And a lot of companies just operate in different spheres. Like, $2 million profit might be great for one publisher and completely not worth the time for another one. It's so subjective that there's not really a universal rubric to what is a successful game and what isn't. Blame publishers. You can simplify it to that, but publishers are just trying to run a business too. Maybe I gotta go through here? I mean, there's question marks over there. I don't know why it would be that, but... Yeah, some people chalk it up to publisher greed, which could be. It's hard to say what greed is when you don't know all the ins and outs of a business and what their business costs are and the money they need to bring in. Or expecting to bring in, you know, it's messy. And I wish there were a, I've thought and pondered that a lot. That is one of my favorite things, actually, is to try and understand the business rationale behind decisions that don't make sense on the surface. Ow. Ow. Ew. So yeah, it's the other tricky thing too is now without the NPD reporting data. Ow, shit! There's something to hide behind here. Oh, okay. Without the NPD reporting data, we also really have no accurate idea of how many unit sales individual games get anymore. So, like, saying that a game should have been successful or shouldn't is so much harder to even claim that now. Or that a publisher is being greedy or not when it comes to how they evaluate the success of a game. Yeah. Is this like PsyOps? Maybe? It's not a bad comparison. Maybe I do need to go the other way. Maybe I do get the other power at some point. I'll try that again in a second. I gotta go on a break and eat some food. So I'll be back in a second. Maybe like 10 minutes or so. I'll find something quick to cram in my mouth. See you guys in a second.
As low as 0%
yes, back into it. Had me a nice, nutritious, low-calorie, protein-high snack. What at McDonald Land, soft drink evening, what are you referring to? I'm always on the hunt for new things to add to media tech. I have put in work. I'm almost done tagging my library, which was an ordeal. Also, I got to go back. I have made notes on the ones I got to fix because some of them are just outrageously loud. Some of them are too quiet. What's up, Mr. Cougar? The aggravating thing is in the years since I started doing that project, really, there have been like, oh, crap. Okay, this is how you get to the same area with a different power. Look at that. Sometimes you just got to step away, and then the solution appears to you. Heard of something called Killer Bean? No, I have not. It sounds like a C-tier horror movie about a murderous clitoris. It's not a really good idea. McDonald's Land's commercials or ads from the 70s are filled with puppets to make the world look alive and the whole thing looks incredibly trippy. Yeah, that was the thing in the 70s, wasn't it? Like, if the 80s was cocaine, the 70s was, like, people that experimented with LSD in the 60s and then got jobs in ad departments. It's a great film. I agree, a murderous clitoris is a great idea. Oh, I'll have to look into it. Ah. Maybe some super spicy coffee, not a murder clit? Yeah, okay, that works too. Or like that. What are they fighting? Why are the hiss fighting the hiss? I feel like this is new. 70s were cocaine, the 80s was crack. Oh. Oh yeah, Teeth. The movie about vagina dentata. That was actually a great movie. Maybe great is a strong term, but I enjoyed it. I thought it understood its tone well. And there were a couple of really good shots. Malicious Clit sounds super metal. Yeah, that'd actually be a really good band name. Gotta put it in that font that is nearly illegible. His Civil War? Man, don't even start, man. You're biting off some more shit. You're getting the gears turning. So, there are a couple of TV shows I watch that have granted to me a weird knowledge of things that don't matter. I watch a lot of commercials. You can see that influence in the MediaTek clips and things like that. But Cops also is accidentally a chronicle of drug use in America. Because, I mean, there's car chases and stuff, but boy, is it drugs. Man, at least on the show. I don't know what the ratio is of, like, actual traffic stops and stuff, but good God, so much of Cops is busting people with controlled substances. And it is amazing. You can, based on the drug, even apart from, like, production quality and, like, camera quality, which you can kind of tell with shows that run that long, but based on the drug somebody's getting busted for, you can kind of tell what, like, 5-year span the episode was filmed in. Because, yeah, in the 80s, it was crack. In the 90s, heroin was more common, and then in the 2000s on, it was all opioids and meth. You can kind of tell by the person and how affluent they are, whether or not it's going to be meth or opioid. Yeah, a lot of meth, though. It's fascinating to watch. Also, like, man, so this is just kind of me rambling at this point. Shocker, welcome to the stream, but one of the things I dearly love about Cops is seeing how police procedures in America change over the decades. In the 80s, dude, it was seriously fucking like Wild Man with a Gun. Were most cops. There were no procedures. It was a lot of ego, a lot of bravado, a lot of like dudes just trying to be big dick. And it wasn't good. It was not good. Now, I mean, you could argue it's like it is a crafted representation because of social media and how like how that makes people paranoid that cops are gonna like be racist or whatever. Oh, that's a big boy. Oh, that's a bad idea. It is incredible to me how much better cops are at like dealing with people and de-escalating situations now than they were 20 years ago. It is truly all about like de-escalation, about maintaining safety, about just making sure that no one gets hurt, which is awesome. Oh, Xanax and Adderall, my school had a problem with that shit. Yeah, I feel really bad for people that came of age in the advent of the very, very poor and remedial understanding of attention deficit disorder and things like that. Because, yeah, some kids got fucking reared on Adderall, and that's really scary to think about. I don't know why it was so widely prescribed. Learned about it from Critical? Oh, I don't know who made the Bean movie. Holy shit, this guy's got health. A tire movie? Fucking tire! Yeah. I guess if it's gonna kill somebody's already made a movie of it doing that. I know it was always so widely prescribed follow the money. Yeah. I'd like to believe the American healthcare system isn't so horrible that we're shoving pills in kids' mouths to put more money in pharmaceutical companies, but kind of, yeah. Doctors would get kickbacks for prescribing them. Is that real? How is that legal? I mean, I know why, money, lobbyism, but I did not know that doctors could legit make money by prescribing drugs. Fuck, that's a bad idea. Oh, Dr. Bagel. Dr. Bagel, MD, PhD. I'm taking a class on the ethics and morality of the criminal justice system. You've literally explained half of the class in the span of a minute. Oh, what about, like... About prioritizing de-escalation and safety over winning or punishment? God, this fucking guy. Docs in Florida did at pain clinics? Holy shit! Man. I feel like you're only allowed to worship the free market if you've never, ever seen, like, it fully at play. What is the idea, man? Privatized medicine is just so fucked up. In 2015, almost half, 48% of all doctors in the US received some kind of payment from the drug or medical device industry, according to a JMA study. Kickbacks are illegal, but it's not illegal for pharma to pay physician fees for speaking, consulting, meals, travel, and more. Oh, okay. So those kind of kickbacks. You get trips, you get, he was almost dead! Also, I have like a dried berry fragment in my teeth. Oh, I used to sell pharma drugs? Fuck, man. The thing is, I feel like... Oh, wow, I'm back here. Shit. You would... I guess the solution is oversight and enforcement, but then you need to staff an entire governmental wing to do it. You need to trust that they won't get lobbied, because they would. You need somebody to watch the watchers, and it costs money, and... It's frustrating to think about. We can buy lunch for doctors, but we're only allowed to spend $25 per person. That's reasonable. Sorry. I got this thing that keeps tickling the inside of my mouth. That doesn't sound... That sounds like a reasonable thing. Is that actively enforced? The kickbacks and the buying has slowed down, but it's still there. Big up sales reps that bring the smack. Just bring drugs. Just drop a baggie of fucking coke on my desk and I'll do whatever you want. Other countries seem to have it under control. Yeah, because you can't make ridiculous profits off of medical care in other countries. Maybe you can. I don't know, man. I have to admit I'm not an expert on the subject, nor have I really invested a lot of time into studying the complications of the medical industry. But, fuck, man. It sure does seem, on the surface, like it's a solvable problem, but money is the thing. I guess maybe the silver lining is that when you incentivize drug research, that, I don't know, are most new and effective drugs researched in the United States? Oh, that was cool. I forgot. Oh. I know that has its own problems of, like, the ability to copyright a drug, but you have to, and in our economy, you have to provide some incentive for the research and development of developing new drugs and testing them. So I get that aspect of, like, look, if you make a new drug, you get to set the price on the market for 5 years or whatever, or however long it is, and then it goes generic, and then people can buy it for $20. That seems like, on the surface, seems like a reasonable system. I don't know. On some level, I'm thankful it's not my job to try to fix this shit. I'll just vote for the people who say they want to fix it in a certain way. I'm like, good, you go do that. I'll keep playing video games. Yeah, Dr. Levin is technically correct. U.S. healthcare is the best in the world if you can afford it. I mean, I guess to a degree, yeah, that is the power of the free market. It can scale up to the highest level of service. I like how I mean, this is going to be retreading old ground, but... shit! God, no! Why did it spawn me next to an explodey ball? Everyone always brings that up as a defense of maintaining the status quo, but everyone who brings it up, or everyone who buys into it, is not the richest person. I mean, like, the talk show hosts that say that are, and maybe they're really just defending themselves, but why does... Everyone in America thinks they're rich, or that they'll soon be rich. Like, what's the line? Everyone in America is a temporarily embarrassed millionaire? Don't... okay. Yeah, I guess it's exceptionalism in another form. it is interesting to me the people that will defend the lifestyle of the ultra rich, I guess, because they think they'll get there someday. Maybe that's part of the grift. I guess it is kind of shades of pyramid scheme, you know? I'm rich because I took advantage of all these people. But that doesn't make me bad because you could be that person too. Kind of reminds me of when the power of rhetorical discourse, yeah. When Trump basically bragged about not paying taxes. You would think that would be the death knell for any public official, right? I worked the system to avoid paying anything. He bragged about it. And I was like, how can anyone vote for someone like that? Someone to run the system bragged about breaking the system. And they did.
This area looks
because I think it
upper floors
speaks to a profound lack of social conscience in the United States. Which is scary. You can kind of see it on display too with like the stay indoors and like, no, what if I don't? Dude, just please trust that this is for your, I guess that's the thing, it's the trust. This isn't a nation of have and have-nots, it's have and soon to have. Sounds about right. That's good, right? It's aspirational, it keeps people working hard, it keeps them trying to achieve. It's hard to find on paper, it's hard to find a problem with it. Anyway, I hate going down these routes because on some level it can be difficult to find a bright spot, but fuck ton of that mindset in Outer Worlds. Yeah, I mean Outer Worlds is kind of lampooning unfettered capitalism, right? Which I feel like it took more of the form of like the 1910s and oil barons and railroad monopolies and things like that. That was kind of the vibe of that game, but to some degree it feels like we're kind of, if we're on a big oscillation, it's going back there. Going back to the mega rich and the ultra poor as opposed to a more distributed thing. You just walk past a battery? Damn it. Sorry. I had that feeling of like it's right in front of me and I just don't see it. It's right in front of me. Is it that? That's not a battery, is it? Not. That's an exploded thing. What did I... It was in that room. Wait. Oh, in the other room here? Yeah. Bloomberg literally spent $1 billion on a terribly unsuccessful campaign. Imagine a billionaire spending that to actually help the country they want to lead. Never happens or will. I mean, some people do, I think. They like, people will cite Bill Gates' philanthropy, but you know, in the context of the vastness of his wealth, it is a little frustrating to wrap your head around. I've been pretty philanthropic so far this year, thanks in part to like negotiating a severance and then also doing some like Twitch activations, like 24-hour streams and things like that actually do convince people to pony up some money. And it's interesting to think about the ratio or the percentage of the revenue that I've gotten, that I've brought in versus what I've paid out to causes that I consider good, and then like the percentage of money that the absolutely mega rich kind of throw out as seemingly as PR moves. Bear Wrestler, thanks for the Prime sub. I mean, I think the thing that I always come back to that does give me, I guess, some amount of comfort, of mental comfort. Oh, lucky cat, is that people voted for it. People continue to vote for it. So this is the system as designed, or as created by the framework that we have. So to some extent, you know, I think you can go a level deeper than that with like gerrymandering and election interference, but that is a step beyond what I feel like biting off on this wonderful Sunday afternoon. Bezos gave $25 million recently. It's nice, but still pales in comparison to how much he's worth. Yeah, and I wonder, did he actually do it? So like, all those headlines are people saying they're gonna do it. I was actually, Ordinary Podcast, was listening to it to actually bone up because I'm gonna be on it tomorrow. But I wanted to get a sense for the vibe of it. So I was listening to Bruce's episode, and somebody mentioned that like everyone that pledged money for restoring everyone that pledged money for restoring Notre Dame, none of them actually gave the money. They said they would, and then they just didn't. And like, who's there to follow up on it? And it's not really headlines when somebody doesn't do a thing. Yeah, I would rather listen to the Upside Down Pyramid. I think I would too. I still got a thing in my goddamn mouth though. Hold on. I got a flake. I gotta get out. I'll be right back. I did in fact mean official podcast. Sorry about that. That's a whoopsie. Alright, bad news. I went in and flossed a little bit, and I still feel it, and I couldn't find it either, so... I'm going to slowly be driven insane by this mystery flake. Wait, what? Shift account part 1. We got here. To whoever finds this, I am containment process designer Gene Gibbs, and I'm writing this document to the largest building shift, to document the largest building shift to ever occur. Here are the facts. A considerably large section of the containment sector, including the processes and protocols offices, our research facilities, and a fair chunk of the fire break has been yanked down to a chasm that reaches far below the lobby level, I think. It was a violent shift, and I regret to report several casualties. Injuries were sustained by all, but many of us, myself included, are still mobile. We've set up a base camp and started triaging. There are little supplies. We've explored our surroundings and found caverns of all things. Maybe we're in some kind of cave threshold, like the quarry? Wherever we are, we're not the first. There were some rusty power cores, old lights, signs, and infrastructure. What was this area used for? Or infrastructure. Why did they seal it off? Why have we never heard of it? More importantly, how are we going to get out? Nord Club, thanks for the resub. A flake from eating what? It was like this little like nut, cheese, dried berry snack pack thing. So plenty of flakables in there. It's either like a shard of almond stuck in my gum somewhere, or a little piece of like dehydrated berry. And give my mouth a little swish. Maybe it'll knock it loose. But yes, with critical, the moist critical. Oh, case file. Kyiv? A series of reverberating sounds observed in downtown Kyiv with no clear point of origin. The event was witnessed by the city's general public. Mental and physical symptoms were reported, including aphasia, sleep paralysis, and excess blank in the reported individuals. Due to the brief nature of the event, Overseas Bureau's agents were not able to respond while it was active. Immediately upon arrival, agents collected audio recordings taken by local witnesses. All Bureau monitoring stations located at global junctions of acoustic amplification were directed to monitor any auditory events of similar pitch, wavelength, and duration in an effort to trace echoes or epicenters. In the following weeks, similar cases were reported from both various amateur sources and Bureau stations in major cities across the globe. The subsequent events diminished in volume and frequency per each occurrence. The event is believed to be generated by planar friction, though this is not confirmed. So it's a plane quake? Oh, Dr. Levin, I'm going to be on the podcast tomorrow. Podcast. The official podcast. Nah. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to have to cast my ass off. Is Control worth it? I would say so, yes, absolutely. But I imagine there's someone out there that wouldn't think so.
Director Faden here. Dispatch a ranger to this location.
We're in this together.
Hmm? Talk about anything in particular? I wasn't given a list of topics, so I don't know. Oh! I got a buddy? Oh, that's neat. Whoa. Kill is a strong word for whatever's going on here. How you doing, bud? I think you got this under control. Protect him at all costs. Jesus. God. Melee was never very good. I keep wanting to use, like, everything just for the sake of cinematic gameplay, but... man, it really is just throw things at people. Look at all these reflections, dough. That's some rays getting thrown. Getting traced. Maybe there's like a personal mod or something you can use to make melee worth a damn. Or, damn it! Fuck. Oh, that was unfortunate timing. Oh boy. You did not drop much health at all, huh? How about that? Oh yeah, I forgot. If you just throw twice, you can hit them. Oh no! My sweet boy is low on life. Okay, guys, we're gonna make enemies where just throwing something at them doesn't work. All right, great. But don't worry. If you shoot twice, you'll be alright. Oh, teleported. What if we made him use 2 throws instead of 1? God, it is actually a really satisfying mechanic, though. I've seen something bong off of a dude's head. I'm like, shit! Ow! It looks like it hurts so bad. It's also weird playing a game where, like, the gun is not 100% efficient. Or accurate, I should say. Jesus. Ugh. Like, how did I not hit him? I think I need to use the spin more. I remember liking that gun. What's up, Zero Cash? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, they can eat some bullets. I think I might be fighting a little bit above my level? Or their level? I don't know. Level something something. I never really ground out like weapon mods or anything, so it's possible I'm not exactly completely kitted out in the way I ought to be. Whatever. Just get rid of everything for... think about it later. Stack up all this hot, what is it called? Essence? I don't remember. Triangles. Atla9. Thanks for the Prime sub. Source gun taking melee damage. What? No! No, don't equip that. Oh, yeah. Which is weirder, Control or Death Stranding? I would say Death Stranding is quite a bit more weird. Oh, C speed. I mean, that's fun, I guess. There's also a better version of it. There, whatever. Why are there so many? Yeah, Kojima's predictions usually take longer to come completely true. He was on the nose with Metal Gear Solid 2 as well. He's kind of a really shockingly accurate futurist. Which is not something I thought I'd say. Let's see, actually, let me change this up a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. Grip is not sending me. Damn it. Oh, is there a way to remove from this screen? Oh. Oh, you have to click and then hit enter? Okay. That! I'm just not super an ace with the UI right now. I'll do spin. I remember spin being fun. have been fitting years of shit into a month's bag of late. That is a great phrase. I am sorry to hear that things are not going well, but I guess I completely understand why that might be. Hopefully things get better for you soon. They're both weird in different ways. Hard to quantify which one is weirder. I guess, at least Control is somewhat self-consistent. Death Stranding is just kind of all over the place sometimes. And it's like, at least Control comes from the perspective of somebody who is from our world or can offer some kind of commentary or empathy with the things being weird. Death Stranding is from the perspective of somebody who lives in that world and grew up in that world and also has a weird path in that world, so I feel like in that regard it makes that game a little harder to wrap around. Also, it gets way more metaphysical by the end of it. The ending is some straight-up Kingdom Hearts shit, and I don't know, I wasn't a huge fan of it, of the ending specifically. I was hoping that I would see some people with some theories about it, so I'd have some notes to compare, but I haven't really looked. I'm sure there's a lot of very long YouTube videos that purport to tell you exactly what the ending of Death Stranding means. You save humanity or no? I don't. Ooh.
Someone call a plumber.
Zing!
Glad no one was around to hear that.
I don't even remember that I don't remember there being a choice at the end of that game. I remember Princess Beach, though. Ooh. Is that an ID card? What are you? Oh. There's some lore floating there. An object of power escaped the Panopticon a couple of weeks ago, and they want everyone to keep an eye out for it. If anyone sees a merry-go-round horse zipping around the sector, alert me immediately. Do not try to contain it on your own, and definitely don't bind it to yourself. Yeah, that guy was a real motherfucker. You didn't like the Princess Beach line? I mean, by the time it hit, I had already abandoned any hope of knowing what the hell was going on, so... Kojima had already put me into a state of just sitting back and letting it happen. That's kind of what I did. So, when that happened, I was like, fuck it, whatever, man. God damn, Kojima got me again. What's going on here? Why do you look weird? Oh, I'm fucked. I got health back, though? Oh, I probably landed on fragments. At the end, when you're talking to her, she's like, you can stop their extinction event for now, but it'll be impossible to stop it forever. Oh, yeah, I don't remember that. I guess that's referring to, like, the circle of dudes, the, like, 5 human sort of figures that are floating. She gave you the choice to postpone it. Okay. I probably postponed it then? Well, maybe I should play it again and pick the other ending and see what happens. Yeah, it was also a very Kojima ending in that it was like 2 hours of straight talking at the end. And by the... Yeah, you just kind of glaze over at some point. You're just like, ugh. Does it follow a plot similar to Evangelion? Because I'm getting those vibes. Yeah. It is sort of a, like, the human race is ending in a very biblical and arcane kind of way sort of deal. I think, yeah, I think Evangelion, thematically and tonally, is a pretty good point of comparison. I thought about Evangelion a lot while playing the game. She's the extinction entity, which makes you wonder if there's some squid way back was one of the past EEs. Yeah. Also, like, apart from the human drama of it, why is a living thing embodied with that responsibility? And I don't know. I don't know, man. Best to not dig too hard. Advice I could probably give myself about Half-Life. Hey, Comrade Broski, welcome. Hey, Mary Lolly Ho to you too. Which sounds like I'm insulting you, but I am not. It's worse when you say it out loud. There's only one ending? Oh, okay. Oh, if you do the other thing, it restarts and you have to postpone it? Ah, sick game design. Kojima. Kojima, how do you do it? They never dig into the spiritual aspects of it. Yeah, just kind of all left there for you. Like, if you want this, you can, I guess, interpret it however you like. Kojima's been doing some reading, and we get Death Stranding because of it. Not a bad trade, really. Ooh. An object of power escaped the Panopticon a couple of weeks ago. Wait, it's the same thing. Huh? Oh, because this isn't... These aren't the collectibles I'm picking up. Yeah, shift account part 2. What's your deal? Gibbs reporting in. It has been 8 days since the collapse and still no sign of any rescue efforts. The Bureau is either completely unaware of our situation or incapable of helping us. Or maybe it's intentional. How many times have we seen the Bureau not give two shits about its own hardworking staff when they go missing in this place? How many times did we let it slide, thinking, oh well, at least it wasn't me? Too many, I'm ashamed to admit. Anyway, there have been some developments. Strange crystals have been growing through the walls. They seem to block some corridors, but not others. The path to the caves is always left open, but we're not sure why. Luckily, the crystals keep out the astral spike. One's been hounding us for days. John, Nikolay, and Sarah went to try to find a radio, but never came back. We think the spike got them. I think it's hunting us. Doug says spikes only exist in the astral plane, so what the fuck is it doing here? If we get out of here, I'm hiring a lawyer. These are unsuitable working conditions. And they kind of are, yeah. Oh, is it another one of the, like, orbs? The Angry Boys? Also, I don't know where my bro went, but I'm kind of glad he's not around, because he'd probably die if he were around much longer. Sneaky Aardvark, thank you for the resub. Also, Min San, thank you. Dr. 11, thanks for gifting a sub. Oh, you picked a good person to gift it to, too. Enjoy that Zero Cash. And thank you for watching. Ooh, lore.
You're listening
awesome.
to America Overnight, a beacon in the darkest recesses of possibility for more than 29 years. We have another letter from a listener. This one's unsigned, but postmarked from Toledo. It says, Dear America Overnight, I have the most wonderful appliance for your listeners. It is a miracle of God. A fondue set. A fountain. A blessed gift. Blessed is spelled with a capital B. Go on, they write. Dive on in. It is molten hot. Perfect for meat. No signature. As far as I know, no fondue set was sent to us here at the studio. Just this letter. Wait. I think there's something else in the envelope. Some kind of black powder. With white shards in it? Bone, maybe? Karen. What is this? Karen? We're on the air, Karen. Where are you? What's this powder in the booth? Is this ash? Oh God. Karen? How do I cut to commercial?
Jesus. Sneaky Squid. Thank you for the Prime sub. Remember when Lawrence was against Anthem Hyper and said it was just a game? Oh, do you mean hype? I don't remember a lot of things. Might need to be more specific. Like the carpet? Oh, that is nice carpet. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sneaky. There was lore on the belt. What? Okay, I thought I saw an interactable there, but... Yeah, right, good call. Ooh, a supplement. Sick. Okay. Recordings of the audio phenomena were uploaded onto the internet shortly after the event. So, the internet exists in the context of this game, so it's pretty clearly modern time, I would say, or at least close to it. The records circulated rapidly on popular message boards. The communications department utilized this exposure by creating Sky Trumpet hoax videos and posting related theories to spread confusion and draw attention away from the event's paranatural origin. Industrial noise, particularly the sound of metal drilling, was found to be a widely accepted explanation. Theories about the sounds emanating from the Earth itself, known as seismic hum, emerged from the public itself and were widely encouraged by the Bureau to generate further misdirection and eventual public disinterest. Witnesses of the event were monitored discreetly afterwards. Observed symptoms were consistent with something deprivation, but subsided after 12 to 15 days. The length of the symptoms directly correlated to the individual's proximity, unsheltered, to the supposed epicenter. Once linked, although accidental, causality can be listed. See report, read the effects of planar friction on hearing aids. Ooh. I wonder how recruitment works for this place. Like, do soldiers and technicians just get transfer orders to the post office? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Jesse found the building, which implies that the building wanted to be found because it's not actively in, like, 3D space.
Warning. Altered item detected in transport bay. Access is prohibited per safety regulation 8A.
Altered item. There's an altered item in here? Or is it me? I think it might be the service pistol. I'll go this way then. She found the building because she has that thing in her head. Oh, Polaris? Yeah, that's a good point.
That's the altered item.
Ah.
It's pretty secure.
I'll better start smashing buttons. That makes sense.
No power.
Right.
Typical.
Yeah. Typical. Ooh. It's so dark in here, I can't read this lore. There's a lot of good stuff on the dry erase boards in this game. When they start streaming, there's more of a chance they're going to leave. I mean, I was streaming for 4 years before I left, and for me at least, honestly, streaming didn't have much of a factor on it. It was more the changing circumstance of my work tasks.
Smaller machines.
So, believe me, like, it's not like I saw a windfall of money on Twitch and was like, I'll just go do that and get rich. It wasn't like that at all. Why does the cursor turn red? Oh, because you're an explodable. Your frequency just went up a little? Yeah, because, I mean, what else would I be doing? That's kind of it. I did it for fun when I had a day job. So, if it's fun for me, why wouldn't I do it more now that I don't? Kind of how the way I see it. The fire looked gorgeous? Yeah, dude. Just the effects in this game are out of control. I said it. This is the new DLC. Firelight. I have beaten the main game already. Come on. Really? Well, I guess I am bonking into that a little bit. Are you not? I guess you're not intended to do that. Maybe I gotta throw something in there. I mean, it's still got a target on it. Oh, I gotta throw a battery in there. Alright. I don't see it as a cash grab. I figured RT's management was in order, and that affected you when they moved you up. Oh, it says power cord's right there. I was like blocked. The works are all gummed up. Yeah, you're right. That might be an issue. It is absolutely an issue. Yeah. Oh, it wasn't. Gotcha. Someday, a long time from now, I'll be able to vent my full and complete mental situation about it, but fortunately that is not now. I have to kind of wait for, like, just gotta wait for time to pass. I mean, that's just cool looking in general. Is that Mold Beast back? Ugh. I hope not. Yeah, just wait for the tell-all. The Twitch.tv stream special. Lawrence with a bottle of whiskey and a whole lot of honesty. Can I go in there? No. Can't burn those bridges? I guess there's that. Yeah, to some degree. It's also just bad form. And, it affects people that aren't just me, you know? Alright, let's crack this thing open. Why am I doing this? I've kind of lost the narrative here. I don't know why I'm messing with this. Most people still don't know why Dave Chappelle quit his show. I mean, sometimes success is the worst thing. It means everybody's like asking shit from you. Everybody wants favors from you. Everybody's asking you to do things. If you're a comedian and you just want to tell jokes and make people laugh, being the showrunner and attached to a very successful runaway show is probably not where you want to be. It's the High Life Alex stream. How was getting a head crab to the face in VR? I actually didn't deal with many head crabs. More of the exploring was fun. I don't think I quite maybe exhibited the wild symptoms people were hoping for.
Personnel may now safely enter.
Oh, okay.
Have a bureau full day.
All right, I liked that. Just play control while high. I just wouldn't be very good at it. I'd probably die a lot. Like, oh, I don't know. Weed is, ow, shit. Weed is not like booze. You don't act out more. Or at least I don't. I tend to be quieter, and if I do talk, it's like in fragments and phrases. Because if I'm like, if I get to a ridiculous level of inebriation in that regard, then I like forget the sentence I was saying halfway through it. It's the lack of short-term memory that makes it like not a super powerfully entertaining state to be in. Fuck, that's never mind. Oh, Anavod? Good night, man. Thanks for watching. Portal on acid? Hell yeah. Plenty chatty during the Alex stream? Well, yeah, that's because I wasn't, like, blitzed out of my mind. I was just enjoyably toasted. Maximally immersed. Does this dude only have the grenade launcher? He does. Look at this idiot. Yeah, lightly toasted, not deep fried, exactly. Not completely baked. Blazed Eternal? Damn it! That's a really good name. I gotta call Bruce and Alana back over. We'll do it again. Share a vape and spit in each other's mouths. If you smoke more infrequently, games become difficult to comprehend. Yeah, I found that I have trouble with, like, spatial tracking, so I'll just get lost more. I'll go back into rooms I've already been in and be like, where am I? If there's not a big glowing thing telling me where to go. And then, yeah, I'll just... Obviously, decision-making slows down, so if it's a game like a shooter that requires dexterity and aim, those things also decline, so... I feel like playing something like... I feel like the golden, or the real juice to extract there in terms of content is just letting your mind wander and kind of opening your mental dialogue to people, because your brain can make some very bizarre mental connections and come up with some what you might think are just delightfully observant thoughts, but end up being pretty obvious to people who aren't high. Is 2-hour follower mode still on from the dick spam wave? No, follower mode is on, but it's like 1 minute, just to curtail. So, do you have unlimited flight? No, it's more of a glide. You float up to a certain altitude based on where you jumped from. You can stay there for a little bit, and then you start to sink back down slowly. Oh! How did you know about the mold monster? Love that 1-2. Boonk, boonk. What makes gaming more immersive? Yeah. I find that, for me, immersion happens when you kind of don't think about anything else but the game. And, to me, weed reduces your brain's ability to deal with stuff. So it's like, if your game has an inventory space of 10, and the game takes 5 of it, then you're not fully immersed because you have 5 other inventory spots to fill with other things that don't matter. But if you hit that hard vape, you take your 10 down to a 5, then suddenly you slot that game in there, or down to a 4, suddenly the game's taking up everything, and you have no time to concern yourself with other things. I learned a brand new language. The fish taught me. You probably don't believe me, so I will prove it. Ho Lilel miuti germiluabt eus oamon echo. Keto? Kid Keto ert pippo hurum eulin rekai buit 1455. As Piertrin Klob Hinu 2222. Yeah, sure. Kiti we wep eulin Num ret bozem kim sualten jibini rog. See? Please publish this letter and maybe other fish speakers will get in touch. They'll be able to read my address even if you can't. Jibini Rog, Larry Humbert. There you go. See, like, because reading that high, you'd just be like, am I high or does this make no sense? That's kind of the interesting thing of, like, doubting your own perception. Yeah, Jibini Rog, everybody. Yeah, I accidentally just summoned some eldritch terror by reciting that. Whoopsie. Cthulhu's back. Oh, I didn't find the original movie camera. This item first came to the Bureau's attention after a hospitalized mailman from Blank, Arkansas claimed his injuries had been caused by a movie camera. Further investigations connected the incident to AI-80, which was being shipped in the mail truck, or altered item, yeah, AI, was being shipped in the mail truck at the time. The packaged camera was later found in an empty warehouse. The return address led agents to a P.O. box located in the San Fernando Valley belonging to a company called Blessed Pictures. Whether Blessed Pictures is involved in the creation and dissemination of Untitled VHS films is unknown. See Investigation 13HQ 612. The following is a list of all known films believed to have been shot by AI-80UE. Shoot First, Die Last, unreleased. Coffee Bullet. Weren't we just talking about, like, Bean Bash? Coffee Bullet's the other name for it, yeah. What was it called? Bean Killer? Killer Bean? I don't remember. Billy's First Car, Bike Hard, and Delivery Disaster. Item was used in the filming of an unreleased Western in 1968 on the Italian sand island of Sardinia. Cast member was killed during an on-set accident, stopping production. It is believed that Blessed Pictures bought the camera when the equipment from the shoot was sold at auction. I think long-term stoners have forgotten what it's like to not have tolerance, with it being mostly legal now. Yeah, I guess if you use it every day. Also, I think it's just being immersed in the mindset. Like, your brain compensates pretty quickly to just being high all the time. Last Fruby! Oh my gosh, did you find an English to Simlish converter? Damn. I enjoy video games so much more while high. I take more time to enjoy the little details rather than just trying to finish a game. I can see that, Evan. I guess if you feel an abnormal push to accomplish objectives set before you, that can quiet that nagging down. It is slowing down your brain pretty much all around. I think the Elite 2 controller is worth the price tag. Currently it's a DualShock 4, so it works, but some games will only recognize an Xbox gamepad. That's really hard for me to say because I didn't pay for one. Xbox sent me one. That said, it's an incredible controller. I think I would have been okay paying $200 for it because it's a great controller. If you play a lot of games, yeah, I think it'd be worth the investment. But if you don't play a lot of games, it's a lot of money you probably don't need to spend. It's clear no one is coming. We're running out of ideas and supplies. We tried going into the caves to find anything edible, but all we found were noxious gases and endless pits. The crystals only let us go one way, even though we could see the caves branched out. We did find some weird spiky pillar. I only got a glimpse of it before the astral spikes attacked. There were a few of them this time. We lost a lot of people. There's only 6 of us left. Hey, OG Dimwit. Welcome. We didn't ask for this. We didn't want to come down here. I'm convinced something brought us here. The others say I'm going nuts, but it's clear this was no house shift. Shifts slide a bathroom a sector over or rotate a hallway. They don't drop full divisions into some caves. We were brought here. I know it. But for what? Why tear us away from our lives just to torture us? If this is some sort of test or mission, then here's some advice for whoever's running it. Give out clear instructions next time. Hope these notes are a good read for whatever ranger finds them. Fuck you. Put that in your report. Gibbs. Nice. Very nice. This is really weird. Ah, sorry. My, like... The left speaker on my headphones was starting to crackle a lot.
Worst I've ever seen. Is take the nail. End of the world.
So I can't let the hiss take the nail. No problem. I know how to handle them.
Yeah, I love these.
I snuck into the Foundation through a back door I know. Had to get ahead of the hiss. Just a matter of bypassing the ritual protections. Luckily, the board's as distracted as the rest of the Bureau. I had to put on a brave face up there. But the situation is the worst I've ever seen.
No, so she talks to the board.
Getting back on our feet, but we've already lost so much.
I swear, ex-directors exist in some kind of, like...
Darling.
Oh, maybe Marshall's not dead. Because she's referring to Trench being dead.
I'm the only one left. But I still have a job to do. Keep the hiss back. There's not enough HRAs to spare.
Stormtrooper, thanks for the Prime sub.
Do with what I've got.
It's so good to have a Stormtrooper in chat.
I don't even know what will happen if the hiss take the nail.
Think there are more lore pieces you can read?
It'd be the end of the world.
Just in general?
He was never one to exaggerate. Well, orders are orders, even if they come from a dead man.
Oh. I guess I thought she was a director at some point. Are these flashbacks or her speaking to Jesse? Most of these are someone speaking to her. I never was able to tell. So like when Trench talks, it almost sounds like he's leaving personal recordings or something. Like it's his diary. He's just kind of, you're hearing his internal monologue. I don't recall Trench ever addressing Jesse directly in their weird little, I don't know, walk around, smoke cigarette sessions. Strelic, thanks for gifting subs. Gifting 2 subs, appreciate that. Are a lot of triangles in the lore tab? Oh yeah, I guess you're right. That's what you meant. Oh, jukebox, right. A containment procedure. Item is to be kept in a secure location in the executive sector. See Security Order 239A. The room must be sealed before usage to prevent unintentional transportation of staff. Description or para-utility. This is a classic 1950s jukebox made by Songmaster Entertainment, Ltd. The jukebox was found with a single record inside, titled A Song for the Others by Redacted. When this record is played in the object, anyone within earshot is translocated for as long as the album is playing. Those involved with the object's first known incident report being transported to a tropical beach, exact location unknown. When this object is used in the oldest house, it only transports users to an area located in the recently manifested quarry threshold. Researchers theorize that this site's unique spatial density results in all transitioning material gravitating to its position, as has been observed with other Bureau equipment. The oldest house's unique nature could also be having an effect on the object itself. This object is not bound to any known individual. Attempts by Bureau staff to bind it have resulted in death and should not be attempted again. You tell him. Some of these I think... Yeah, some of these I think I know. Or have read before. Man, they're good though. Maybe I didn't read them. Oh right, I never read this, jeez. Dear House of Representatives, my husband Francis read an article before he died about how the universe was really just a computer program. He believed it. I thought it sounded silly, but now I think he was right. Francis was hit by a car a few months ago. A drunk driver. I don't think it was supposed to happen. My neighbor's son Jeremy broke one of our windows with a football a week before Francis died. Francis yelled at Jeremy for it. He was a bit harsh. This is important because I see Jeremy on his computer through their living room window. He's on it all the time. Some others say he's a computer whiz. I think Jeremy is operating the computer program and he changed the universe so that the driver would hit Francis. He did it to get back at Francis for yelling at him. Is there a way to change the computer and make Francis come back? I have some money if it's expensive. I don't know how these things work. I don't care if Jeremy gets in trouble or not. I just want Francis to come home. Francis and I were very happy together. I can feel him not being here and I know it's not right. Sincerely, Stephanie Miller. It's really sad. I know that a lot of these you hear in the world and then they mark them as new, so I've actually listened to a lot of these already. America Overnight. Just got the logs. I missed one. Missed log 4. I didn't mouse over a multimedia There's another one. God damn it. So many tapes. So many triangles to wipe away. This game is absolutely worth a play, 98T man. I try to do my part and espouse its value to people. I mean, I guess if Remedy is saying that they've been excuse me, I don't know which one, whatever. If Remedy's saying they've been greenlit for like 2 more games, then hopefully they're doing okay. I was worried. I was worried for a minute. Stop it.
Hello? Board, are you there?
I never heard of it until it was nominated for Game of the Year. Yeah, it doesn't seem like they had a really strong marketing campaign behind it. Oh, you're playing it now, Cobaltwits? That's great to hear.
Okay, what the hell is going on?
Oh, I get the other ability now?
Wait, I'm back here? Wasn't my idea. Blame the eyeball.
Yeah. Former.
Yeah,
Interesting.
we've had our differences. But it is giving me something you want.
Oh, download it off PS Now. Gonna check it out. Nice. It's a really fun playthrough. Actually, I didn't think about PS Now. Maybe that's a good way for legacy PS4 players to enjoy it. Wish my PC could run it. Yeah, that's excuse me, sorry guys. That's one of the bigger reasons I like it is it is a PC forward, pretty tech heavy game, and that's always fun. I was curious about.
What I can't have.
I was curious if they were ever going to get into it with the board, because the board did say some pretty creepy things about the other, basically being like, and I kind of talked about that a little bit earlier. The former is the like weird, creepy crab looking guy, and the board is basically like, don't listen to anything they say. They're gonna lie to you. And it's like when somebody starts talking like that, it gets a little creepy. When they try to preemptively make sure that you don't trust something. Oh yeah, the board reminds you of teachers or adults from Peanuts. A muted bugle. Oh, okay. RTX 2070 gets 144 frames with DLSS now. You really want AI determining what you see? No, thank you. All of my pixels are rendered right here in America. You ever get the vibe that the board was a metaphor for the developers? A lot of things they said you could easily equate to devs talking to the player. Huh. I never really thought about it that way, but I can see that. Bless you. Hey Noodles, thanks for the Prime sub. You got me thinking now. You got me big thunkin'. That's pretty cool. I wonder how actually useful and practical those abilities will be. I guess see if the combat arenas are designed to make use of those functions. That's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. Only works in one game right now, DLS 2.0. I thought it was in
I'm pretty tired of being jerked around the astral plane.
Is it not in Monster Hunter?
If you're listening, I want some answers.
Hello, Kitsune. Welcome. Want to add an NVMe drive next? Yeah. Oh, MechWarrior 5. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I rated together two, oh shit. Yeah, so this is the former. Kind of implied through name and a bunch of other things that, like... This was the paranatural entity before the board. Alright. I guess there was a hole there. Got an option to talk to it? Did I? Oh shit. Well, hopefully if I reload the checkpoint, I can explore that. That's pretty cool. I was really hoping that they would. Oh yeah, I was kind of hoping they would lean more into the former and the relationship with that on the board, because that was one of the more interesting.
Hi there.
Things in
Nice of you to give me something the board wouldn't.
in the main control game.
What are you getting out of it? So I'm just supposed to believe you're a particularly charitable,
Hello, John.
whatever you are? Hungry? I mean, yeah, actually, I'd love a sandwich or something. That's not what you meant, was it? Are you part of the board? Or used to be? Okay, so you split because the board blamed you for... Gotta be easier to play charades. Do I need to rescue someone? I don't know what I expected. Listen, this has been great, but I have to go. Thanks for your help, and, stay out of trouble.
Former's probably just trying to use me. But should I really trust the board?
Yeah, I always thought the board was a little weird. I'm glad they're poking into that now. But I'm gonna go poke into another snack because my tummy's starting to turn into twists, get twisty tied. Also, I think I'm gonna swap games here. It's time to get paid. It's another. Oops. Oh no. Okay, that's not so bad. It's like my wallpaper could have been bad. Man, hold on a second. Jesus, let me just... There. Now it's not so bad. Anyway, there's Holg. Just eat dinner at this point? Yeah, I think I will. There's a board message telling you... There's one board message where they tell you something at some point, or they basically threaten you not to do something. Yeah, I remember that. It was, Oh wait, there's something down there. Hold on a second. Art and Holg at Mr. or copyright Mr. Whatever. I don't think he actually copyrighted that, but okay. Thank God for his tub covering his massive cock, yeah. But yes, it's getting paid day, so I'm gonna be coming back with some more Bless Unleashed. Yes, they got more budgets. They're like, hey, you want to play it again? I was like, yeah, I actually kind of like that game. So, which means I need to swap over to my getting paid transition. There we go, very good. And I'll see you guys in a second. I'm gonna eat some food and come back with a oh my god, like an orgasmic free-to-play action MMO. See you guys soon. So stupid.